Welcome! True Mouse Games is back, and we are running today a brand new role-playing game. Pretty much, it was released about 10 days ago or so, and we're speaking, of course, about Warhammer Fantasy 4th edition, that is, from Cubicle 7 long line of Warhammer editions. I myself have played 1st edition and 2nd edition extensively, and 2nd edition is probably still my most favorite role-playing game of all time. I've used it with those rules. And today we are seeing what 4th edition has changed. In some ways, the rule system, for those of you who are familiar with it, 2nd edition that is, in ways it has changed quite a bit. I personally am not quite sure to think of some of the changes yet. It certainly seems more crunchy, slightly more rules heavy than Warhammer 1st and 2nd edition. But it's far away from Warhammer 3rd edition, of course, which had its own like Star Wars-y game, Fantasy Flight game dice system. Anyway, we have 4 players tonight, and we'll be playing a scenario called A Mother's Pain. But we'll be jumping into that scenario soon. First, let me give you a very, very quick introduction into the rules. And before I do that, just let me say one thing. I have only read about 60 to 70% of the rules. I have not read the magic rules at all so far, and there's still probably quite a lot of things that I will be missing. But if you do know the rules better than I am, or if you're watching this in like three years or whatever and are already super familiar, feel free to point out any rule mistakes that I have made in the comments. That said, I have decided to kind of let loose a few of the rules and just ignore them for this first scenario to not make things too complicated. At the very basis, Warhammer is, 4th edition, as it was in 2nd and 1st edition, a D100-based role-playing game. So you basically don't know if you might need more if you use magic, but as I said, I don't know that yet. However, for normal checks, you just use those 2 dice, so a D100. It's a very basic level. Warhammer is a D100 forward. You have a stat, an attribute, a skill, whatever, and it has a percentage number. So you have, I don't know, say 55 on, say, stealth or something like that. So if you're trying to use that skill or that attribute over it and roll equal or less to that attribute, and that's pretty much all there is. So if you're attacking someone, you're rolling your weapon skill or your weapons skill with a specific weapon, and that's always a percentage die. And if you roll higher, then you will miss. The same with stealth, the same with many other things. The game master, me, will be able to give you external modifiers. I might say, okay, you have a stealth with +20, which makes it easier for you to sneak because maybe it's dark, maybe there's loud rustling of leaves that covers your steps or whatever. So I'll tell you that basically before you roll. There is also something that's very, very important in this edition, wasn't so important in previous editions, but still, which is called success levels. So success levels are determined with a straight D100 roll. So say you have 55, as I said, stealth, and you're trying to sneak, and you roll a 30, whatever, 32 or something. That means you have 2 levels of success. So for every, how do you explain that best? For every 10, basically, no matter if it's a full 10 or not, that you roll under your stat, you get 1 level of success. So if you said 55 and you rolled 53, that is 0 levels of success, but anything with a 40, that's 1 level of success. If you roll anything with a 30, that's 2 levels of success. So basically, subtract the first number of what you rolled from the first number of your attribute. And I think that's might sound a bit complicated right now, but it will become easier as the game progresses. A bit of maths that you need to do here. So you have 10 basic attributes: ballistic skill, strength, toughness, agility, initiative, dexterity, intelligence, willpower, and fellowship, the last one being your charm attribute. And then you have a whole bunch of skill on one of those attributes. So stealth, for instance, is based on your agility attribute. So usually your stealth and your agility are the same unless you have leveled up stealth. Then you have stealth, and that's your new stealth check. But that's going too far already. This is pretty much all you need to know about the basic rules from the start. And 2 of my players have just dropped out. So I'll just continue talking, I guess, until they come back. Hopefully they'll come back. Players have been dropping out a lot. I don't know what's going on. Maybe Google Hangouts is having issues. I don't know. Anyway, we will explain the combat rules when we come to our first combat. Oh, and I'm cutting out now and then as well. That's not great. Anyway, we'll try to progress and see how it goes. I hope you can. I am saying something that is important for every character is you have 2 resources that you can spend in the game. You have fortune points, and you can spend them at any time to trigger specific things. Fortune, you can spend to re-roll a check, or you can spend it if you succeeded to add 1 additional success level to that check. That's all you can do with fortune points, pretty much. And they are very important, but you don't have that many of them. Most characters have like 2, 3. They usually don't reset until the start of the next adventure or the start of the next evening. So today, for this one shot, my players will not be regaining any resilience or any fortune over the course of the game. So fortune point, or you add 1 level of success to something you rolled. Resilience, which basically signifies kind of like psychic or the strength of your will, if you say, whereas fortune is actually how lucky your character is. Resolve and resilience, sorry, it's called resilience, not resolve. You can use to do 3 different things. You can become immune to terrified or something. You might be able to defeat that fear briefly. You can ignore the effects of a critical hit that you have received, so like a wound or something on your body. Also only for 1 turn, however. And the third thing you can do is you can remove 1 condition from your character. So condition is something like dropping prone or being blinded or something along those lines. So you can basically remove 1 of those by using 1 of your resilience points. So for my players tonight, be aware of your points and be aware what you can use them for. A specific thing, because Paul is back and he's playing a physician in tonight's game, you can use your heal skill to heal people. Wounds don't generally heal very quickly in Warhammer by themselves, but unless you have a long time to rest, which you won't have in this adventure. But Paul's character, by the name of Gustav Schwarz, can actually heal after every combat each of his companions that has received a wound. What he does is he rolls a heal check, and he adds his intelligence bonus, which is the first digit of his intelligence, which I believe is a 4 for him, and the level of successes he has rolled on the healing check. If he rolls less, so if that number is less than 4 intelligence and rolls 4 levels of failure or more, he will actually cause damage with the healing check. So you can hurt someone by bandaging them up and cutting them up. Or it's not quite like the high fantasy D&D like adventures. Although it's unlikely that will happen, I believe, with Paul's character, because he should be high enough in healing that even if he rolled 100, I think he wouldn't deal any damage, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll find it out over the course of the adventure. Anything else, weapons, damage, advantage stuff, which is a bit more complicated in combat, will be explained when we come to combat. For now, let us jump into the adventure itself. Mother's Pain, the scenario, is set in Western Wissenland, which is the southwesternmost province of the Empire, the largest human realm in the world of Warhammer, basically. It is set in a village called Wittenhausen, a small town, really, of a couple hundred people in the shadow of the Grey Mountains, which are the western border of the Empire. The Grey Mountains are a dangerous region. There are dwarfs in the Grey Mountains, dwarf country, well, I guess city-states in a way, but there's also a lot of different creatures, monsters. And they every now and then come down into Wissenland to attack the villages and towns and hopefully be pushed back by the army of the Empire. Something like this has happened about a month before our scenario starts. A goblin horde, wolf-riding goblin savages, has descended from the Grey Mountains, and only to be met in battle by the militia and the soldiers of Wissenland. The goblins have been pushed back into the mountains, many of them slaughtered, but the local soldiers are all stationed along the mountains, and therefore the villages are feeling a little vulnerable at the moment. So this is kind of the background that we are in this scenario. To the north lies the capital of Wissenland, the mighty city-state of Nuln, a large, massive city of a couple 100,000 people, very modern, with most of the Empire's cannons and gunpowder and such, but Nuln is far away. As we begin our scenario, our 4 characters have been called by a merchant, a wool merchant, a widow called Else Kassel. Else has helped all of our characters in the past, one way or the other. Maybe she has lent them money, maybe she has given them a job, gave them a listen to and a warm meal, but they all feel indebted to her in one way or the other. So when she said that she needed their help, they were all ready to go to her and listen to. It is early autumn, summer has come and gone, but the nights are still fairly warm in this part of the Empire. It is also late morning of one autumn. It has been kind of rainy with a bit of sun, very mixed weather for the last couple of days. And you are leaving your homes in Wittenhausen, as I said, town of a couple hundred people, and going to Else Kassel's home, a larger manor. Okay, the manor might be putting it a bit too strongly, at the edge of town. I will give my player characters the chance to introduce my players the chance to introduce their own characters very briefly. Just give a physical description and say who you are and what your name is, basically. And scenario. We'll just start with Paul and then go over to Michael and then Marcin and then Eric at the last. So Paul, go ahead. Give us a quick introduction, please.
Hi, everyone. My name is Paul. I'm playing Gustav Schwartz. He's an apprentice physician. People have probably known him from town. He has lived here his whole life. He's only 18 though, but he's very tall, 6'3", and skinny. But he has an air about him. He's always very confident about his abilities and everything, just about him. That's it.
Perfect. So that is Gustav Schwartz. Moving over to Michael.
Hi, my name is Michael. I'm playing Heinrich Lang. He is a rogue outlaw. He's pretty young, barely older than a boy. 17 years old. He's 5'7" with golden brown hair.
All right, and Heinrich, which you shouldn't speak about too loudly, but Heinrich is an outlaw, so he's waiting for people to walk past and thump them on the head and grab their money. But of course, that is not widely known in the village. Anyway, moving on. Marcin, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Martin, and tonight I'm playing a halfling docker, little, mean, rude, fellow who, in the undisclosed circumstances, has left to Aldorf. It doesn't have anything with the, stolen cargo. No. First, you have to prove it. If you say it to my face, because he's not especially nice, middle-aged, grizzled fellow who swears, curses, drinks, and basically is one wreck train of not of man, of halfling.
There we go. We have a token non-human in the group. By the way, the Empire is super racist, just so you know, guys. Not just my players, but also the viewers. So you might come towards poor Wilhard Thorncobble, our halfling. But you will see. Humans are also racist to one another. So anyway. Thank you, Marcin. And moving over to Eric. Go ahead, Eric.
I'm playing Siegfried Wenck, and he is a road warden, though his main business, his main duties are to collect tolls around the place. So he's not very popular. He's kind of tall. He's about 6 feet, and despite being rather gaunt and wiry, he's got some surprising charm, either if it's because of his white teeth or his very, very nice mustache. It's hard to say, but some consider him pretty good company. And it's because of the attractive talent that I got.
We're not the only one having that, actually. So we have especially for Warhammer standards, a very good-looking company tonight. So there you have it, folks. This is our group for tonight. So we have Gustav Schwarz, who is a physician, or physician's apprentice, really. We have Wilhard Thorncobble, our halfling docker, a mean halfling. We have Heinrich Lang, who is our, let's call it, I don't know. He's a nice guy. And we have Siegfried Wenck, who is a road warden, toll keeper, basically. So as you guys approach, you can already see from the inside there's a curtain being moved, and you see briefly a dark-haired woman's face appearing. You recognize Elsa. She looks worried, and as soon as you approach the door swings open, and she appears. A woman in her sort of late 40s, early 50s, with silverish brown hair, wearing a green, slightly dirty stained apron at the moment. And she beckons you inside, and she looks tired, and she marks circles under her eyes, and her hands are slightly shaking as she beckons you inside and has you sit down kind of in the living room area while she's pottering around the kitchen making you tea.
I take my hat off as I enter.
Auntie, this is Elsie? Is it?
Elsa Castle. She's living alone.
Yeah, Auntie Elsa, it's good to see you again. How are you? And I give her, a hug and a kiss on the cheek.
Thank you, Gustav. Thank you. That's very kind of you. I'm not. Have a seat. She hands out some steaming mugs of some sort of broth or tea. And sits down, runs her fingers across her own face. To have you called at such short notice, but I have a problem. I hope it's nothing, but maybe you can help me with it. Yeah, right. It should. Can you help me?
What's the problem?
Well, some of you might know my daughter Clara. Until about 3 years ago, when she married, this man, Richard Holst. They're living over in Brendelwald, about half a day's journey downriver. Sorry. They're visiting a about once a month or so, and I've been expecting them the day before yesterday in the evening, but they didn't arrive. And I'm worried sick with the goblins and all that, those beasts roaming around. And well, I don't know what could have happened, but if I could ask you to go to Brendelwald and check from there, or if they're still there, if they're sick, or if something has happened, that would mean a lot to me. Is that, can you do that?
I'd be happy to. For what you did to me, I'll always owe you.
Wow. Easy. I say looking through the pot and eating some stuff. Why so in rush? Maybe they have a good time. I don't want to visit your in-laws.
Well, to be perfectly honest, if it wasn't goblins or anything, I would of a husband. I hope he hasn't done anything to her. He's from Stillland, from up east, and that they live in the shadow of this terrible. She sort of whispers the name Sylvania into the room, and then shakes her head and says, "Well, they're all. I've heard that they're all tainted by it, by just the vicinity. He's not a good man. I don't know why she married him, but I gave her a choice and she did take it. And anyway, if you could check on them, or on her, and
of course, I'll go check on her. But if he's hurt her, I will.
yes,
I will show him how good I am with a scalpel.
Well, I wouldn't expect anything less, but let's hope everything's fine. I know, Vilhard, you have a boat at the docks. With the boat, you should be there in like 4 or 5 hours tops. There's an inn, small one really, in Brendelwald. If you talk to Oscar, the innkeeper, he knows me, so he'll be happy to give you a place to stay for the night and maybe a warm meal. If you mention my name, we've been friends once.
What's the inn called?
The River Gold Tavern. There's only one. You can't miss it. The whole village is only about 12 buildings or so.
All right, if it makes you happy, but this squares us.
Well, I wouldn't say happy, but yeah, it would certainly. Calm me down a bit. Even if they decide not to come because they have other things. I understand. No, my daughter, she's a responsible girl. She would have sent word.
Well, goblins, they are nasty things. And we will put ourselves in danger, then so
well,
perhaps some provisions will be provided. I say, as I look again into the pots and look if she has something valuable.
I understand what you're saying. Give me a bargaining check. This will be the first roll of the night.
What do you want from me?
A bargaining check. There should be a skill. I believe it is based on fellowship. So if you don't have bargaining, you just roll a straight up fellowship check.
Okay, I roll my fellowship as I have no bargaining.
Okay.
And my fellowship is 44, and I've rolled 31.
Okay, perfect. So that is one level of success. She looks at you and says, all right. I see that you should be. And she stands up and leans through a doorway, comes back a few seconds later,
Rub my hands in anticipation.
she clutches a small pouch and sort of pours out to her palm and puts 12 shillings on the counter. That's 2 shillings for each of you. So 3 shillings for each of you. I think that's more than fair, don't you?
Well,
No, you do not have to pay me, Auntie. It's fine. It's but if I could, do you still have Uncle's short bow? If I could borrow, just in case. I haven't shot it in a while, but
Of course, it's there. I still have a few arrows as well. I'll get it for you. That's a good idea. The road might get dangerous. The river, I guess. She leaves again, leaving you alone for a moment with the money in front of you on that small table.
Well, that seems like 4 shillings for the rest of us.
yeah,
Go
I take
ahead.
my share. And everything I can get that, is unclaimed.
So how much
Yeah.
each of you want?
Heinrich will take his 4 shillings.
All right. What about Siegfried?
He's not going to take any coin.
Okay, so I guess
Okay.
6 shillings each?
So we'll take 6 each.
Okay, so easy money.
Great.
I like this group.
All right. Okay. Elsa comes back and she's holding a package, a bundle in leather, and she puts it on the table, and you can see a short bow and about a dozen arrows in a small quiver. Take it with my blessing. I don't really need it anyway.
thank you. I hope I remember how to shoot it. Well, hopefully I won't have to.
Yeah, I hope so too. Well then, can you get going soon?
It was late morning, right?
Yeah, it's about maybe 11-ish, an hour to noon or something like that.
Well, I don't see any reason to delay.
So was that 12 arrows you said? Sorry.
Sorry? Yeah, about, let's say 12 arrows, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you didn't have arrows on the character sheet that I can see.
Right, I just write down 12, it's fine.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, do you need anything else? Any questions or anything?
No, everything will be fine. It's just go over, we'll speak to her. There's probably some minor little thing that she couldn't show up. I'm certain everything's fine, and just take care of yourself and just check in on my mother once in a while. Check in on her. She'll probably want to have some tea.
I'll check in with her in the evening. I mean, you'll be back by tomorrow, surely.
I have a question to our game master. Did she tell us where her daughter's home is?
No, she's just said the village of Brendelwald, which you would probably be familiar with in passing at least. It's a small village about 4 to 5 hours down the river, down the Seul. So you just basically follow the river and it will lead you there anyway.
So as my companions go out, I will stay and ask, where does your daughter live if we want to check on her?
She lives with her husband on her farm, on their farm. It's about maybe half an hour east of the village, or
I see.
so.
Half hour from the village. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be able to tell you I mean, it's a small place. It's only about 50, 60 people.
Okay.
Everyone.
So I settle hat on my head, grump goodbye, and go outside.
All right.
And I'll put my own. Well, no, I'm going to step out as well and then put my hat on.
Yeah. Heinrich will leave quietly.
Okay. So the three of you, the 3 humans, go and you meet up a few minutes later, basically, you start heading for the docks, which are only about 200, 300 yards east of where you are. Wilhard, you've gone ahead to get the boat ready, and the boat is sort of tied to one of the wooden shoddy piers of Wittenhausen. It's a small boat, as I said, about 5 or 6 people fit in there. Small sail, a few oars, halfling size, that is. And you're getting the boat ready, and your companions are coming slowly down from the small hill where the town is standing on. And as that is happening, you hear, Vilhard, you hear a voice, a familiar voice to you, saying, "Hey, you little gnome, what are you doing there?" And you look up and you see 2 scruffy-looking men that you recognize, 2 sort of burly men there, maybe early 20s or so, scruffy brown beard, shortish, fairly unkempt hair, wearing sort of leather jerkins, the Hessring brothers, Anton and Ruprecht. You don't like them, they're assholes. They've been sort of trying to push you around for months, ever since you arrived in Wittenhausen. And they're coming sort of down the pier towards you. And Anton, the slightly older one of the 2, says, "Hi, we were wondering where we could borrow your boat for today. Just do a little fishing, eh? You understand?" Yeah.
Who are they talking to?
They're talking to Vilhard, who's in his boat.
All right.
What do you want? Huh? Are you talking to me?
Yeah, we're talking to you, you little shit.
Don't you see I'm with them? Go and play with your own brother and go before my eyes, huh? So what you gonna do?
They look over to the 3 others, kind of about 100 yards away, slowly coming closer with their packs. Any new friends, eh? Thought we were your friends. I'm feeling hurt. And you say, Ruprecht?
Oh, sissy little boy, his feelings are hurt. Go to a goat. She will help you.
They look at each other, and you can see sort of their faces going red. And Ruprecht, sort of standing up above you on the railing on the pier, sort of spits down into the water next to your boat and says, "Now listen here. We need that boat. We'll give it back to you."
I sniff my nose. I smell something fishy. Does it fit? Have you played with the fishes in your pants? Huh? Get lost. It is my boat and none of your business.
So as the other 3 are slowly arriving in the scene, you can see these 2 men kind of looking angry down at your halfling companion in his boat. And one of them turns to you and sort of raises his arms and says, "Now, boys, it's not of your concern. We're just talking to our friend here."
Do I know these 2?
Yeah, you would know them. Maybe at least by reputation. Maybe not, but they're nasty thugs, basically.
How dare they be nasty thugs?
Just once we want a nice, friendly thug. Actually, I step up to them, and how big is the tallest one?
Well, see, they're both shorter than you by a fair bit, but sort of wider in the shoulder, muscular, with a bit of a hot belly, both of them.
And gentlemen, it's we do not have time to play any of these games with you. We require the boat to for a little errand. You can negotiate when we get back if you need the boat, but for now, please go on about your business.
They look at each other. "An errand, eh? What's so important?" One of them says, the younger one.
Heinrich will step in and say, "None of your business," and he will draw his sword and just kind of hold it in his hand.
They both kind of take a step back. Hey, you need to get all like aggressive, like. They look at you. Roll me an intimidation check, Heinrich.
It's a D100.
Yeah, D100. Your intimidation is a skill check. If you don't have that's with basic skills. It would be just a straight up strength check. So that's the S under your characteristics. It would be a plus 20. So you gain 20 to your. It's 20% easier basically to succeed.
Okay.
Do you have a intimidation skill?
I do, but I don't. My dice roller does not roll a 100.
Okay.
Is there a percentage? Or roll 2d10. Take the first number as the tens, and the second one as the ones.
Okay, I rolled a 51.
Okay, so that is probably a success.
How
high is your intimidate skill?
Intimidate is the skill's 43.
43.
So
plus 2 makes it a 63. You rolled a 51, so that's 1 degree of one level of success.
Okay. All right.
Right. They both kind of look at you. All right. Well, come on, Anton. It's not worth our time. And they kind of try not to appear too intimidated, but both glancing at you, the naked blade in your hand, they push past you and disappear up the path towards the town.
And they are about 100, 150 feet or more. I grumped, but loud is over here. I told you, I'm with them. Huh?
They both look at you over the shoulder. One of them gives you the finger from distance, and they continue walking.
Put it in your brother's, and so I embark on the boat, sit at the oarsman's place, and wait for my. I'm going to steer the boat. I'm not going to work with oars.
Well, you are at least on the way to the village of Brendelwald. You are going down the river. So the river, the current of the Sol, will be doing most of the work. The way back might be a bit more tricky, but still not that hard. So you all kind of jump into the boats one after the other. There's enough space for the four of you. There's not a lot of there's soft rain falling, as it has been falling most of the day and most of the night as well, but it luckily doesn't look like the rain's getting any heavier. So you push off the pier and you set out into the river. Bilhard steering, you slowly make your way down the Sol. It is about noon or so. A wind picks up a little bit. The Sol current pushes you forward. So muddy river, so you can see like small bits and pieces of vegetation being pushed past, and the current is fairly strong, not amazingly so. Boats can go both ways, but it is strong enough to push you along gently, and every now and then the boat goes sort of up and down, but you seem to be making good progress. Gustav, Heinrich, and Siegfried, which one of you do you think has not been on a boat very often so far? Do your characters have? What do you think? Do your characters have sort of river experience?
I don't think I have any noteworthy river experience, but
the drive skill, is that for boats too?
No, that would be for carts. I believe there's an advanced skill for boats.
Oh, it's an advanced one. You know what? I'm going to say no.
All right.
I want to say Heinrich has.
Okay. So Gustav and Siegfried, both of you, roll me a, what's it called? A endurance. Actually, no, that would be a straight up toughness check, I think.
all right.
I will give you a plus 20 on this because the river isn't that strong. The current isn't that strong. It's not that much of a.
Okay, how does this work again? I missed part of. I think I have a rough idea, but I missed part of the.
Well, it's a percentage check basically. So you have your toughness is something like 30-ish, I'd say.
Yes, exactly.
Roll at the 100. If you roll 30 or whatever, your toughness or less, that's success. And for every 10 you roll under, that's 1 level of success. So if you roll anything with a 20, basically, and you have something that's 1 level of success. If you roll anything with a 10, 2 levels for you, and so on.
So, but you said we have a 20 bonus.
Yeah.
So it becomes a 50. I have to roll under.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I rolled over by 8. I rolled 58.
Okay, so that's just 0 levels of failure, basically.
Yeah, and I rolled 56 against 51. So
okay. So both of you feel a little queasy, but it's nothing terrible. Like you don't throw up or anything. It's just you kind of grab hold of the boat and just hold on. Kind of. The river is fairly wide. I mean, this is, even though the Seoul is not one of the larger rivers of the empire, it's still probably about 120 feet or so across. So it's a fairly significant river. You can drown in a river like that. But the ride isn't too bumpy, and you are pushed gently by the current until about 3.5, 4 hours later. So around 4 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock, and you see a small village on the other side, on the right-hand side of the river, the village of Brendelwald. There is a single shoddy-looking wooden pier sort of sticking out into the river, and you can see about a dozen or so buildings a little bit uphill, kind of like 20, 30 yards away from the river itself. And there seems to be a medium-sized kind of camp the center of the village itself, or in that semicircle that is being created by the buildings themselves. There don't seem to be too many people around from you can see. You can see a couple of figures, maybe 2 or 3 walking around, but that's pretty much it. No one is there to greet you at the pier, at least.
Oh, I straightened myself. I grabbed the steering oar, and I said, "Well, lads, to the oars. We must to shore." And try to steer, boat into the pier so we can throw our ropes.
Okay. Yeah, it's easily enough done. 2 of you grab the oars, kind of help.
But I tried to make it was very difficult.
Right. And you throw a rope and you tie the rope. You don't even need to go right up and then tie the boat to the pier and start slowly climbing out one after the other. There's a second boat, kind of similar to yours, a little smaller though, and a little older looking, tied up to the other side of the pier. Otherwise, the pier is empty, and there's at least space for another 2, maybe 3 boats there.
Well, lads, it seems that we have arrived to a destination. What's the plan?
Should go to the inn, right?
Yes, let's go and ask around in the inn and mention Elsa's name.
Well, the inn was to get a room for the night and a meal. Actually, do I know anything about this town, inhabitants, or?
You do have a skill, I believe, called Knowledge Reichland or something like that.
Yes, I do.
All right, so roll me a check on that skill. It's just a 0, no bonus.
May I do so as well?
Oh. Failed by 7.
Okay.
I also failed.
Okay, so you both only heard that it's a small village. You don't know anything specific. You've probably passed it by maybe a couple times in your life, but never lingered long.
Probably a shitty place anyway.
I mean, most places in the empire are kind of shitty, to be honest. So yeah, most likely. Yeah, you see a couple people wandering the streets. Oh, the street, as it is. As I said, it's about a dozen or so buildings. But one of the buildings definitely sticks out. It's larger by about double than the others and built of fairly sturdy timber. It kind of looks new-ish, a couple of years old maybe, whereas some of the other houses look fairly old already. And you can even see at the edge of the village, at least 2 of the houses are kind of semi-decrepit with a bit of water leaking in through the roofs. simple thatch roofs, wooden walls, sort of splattered with a bit of mud. The rain, however, thankfully has finally stopped.
So you said there were some people nearby?
Yeah, there's about 3 or 4 people wandering around. You can see an older man pushing a car, like a wheel cart along, an empty one, just coming up a sort of path leading in between the fields that you can see in the distance. And you can see a younger man and a younger woman walking around at the campfire, looking at the ground as if they're looking for something.
Okay. Once I get out of the boat, I make sure that I'm that I look presentable. Make sure there's no dust or anything. Well, I guess it was raining.
You're a bit wet, but yeah, otherwise, sure, for definitely presentable.
And I'll approach the nearest person. And actually, what was her name of the daughter?
Clara. Her name was Clara.
Clara.
Excuse me. Greetings. My name is Gustav Schwartz. I'm looking for my cousin Clara.
The old man with the wheelbarrow kind of pushing along looks up, and he has this grayish hat that's wet and sort of hanging into his face, but you can see a fairly pointy, sort of long, nearly beak-like nose, a bit of a scrubby beard, and 2 grayish eyes looking at you a little suspiciously, but he nods and he spits out to the side as he's Sigmar's greetings. What do you say? You looking for?
For my cousin Clara. Sorry, what was the last name again?
Well, it depends on which last name you want to use. Her mother's last name is Castle. Her husband's last name is Holst.
Go for the husband's.
Oh, okay.
I'll fill in Holst.
Yes, so I was looking for my cousin Clara and her husband Richard Holst.
All right. Yeah, I know them. I haven't seen them in a few days, though. They live over that way. He points at a path that leaves the village on the east side, like away from the river, and winds its way through the fields and into some hills in the distance.
Thank you very much.
And he just pushes past you with his wheelbarrow.
And sorry, what time of day was it?
It's about 4 o'clock ish in the afternoon. 3 hours of daylight left.
And it takes. She said it would take about half an hour to get there.
2 hours on the side. Let's go.
Yeah, we should go while we have daylight.
All right then.
All right. So you pass through the village and head onto that path, which is like a dirt road, basically, leading east. It seems like there's a few fields, but the fields don't look particularly well kept. There's going to be probably not that much of a harvest, all in all. And the village looks at least partially deserted as you pass through it. It looks like a lot of houses at the edge of the village have fallen into disrepair. Or maybe, I don't know, they've been driven away. You're not quite sure. But the atmosphere is, of the few people that you can see, jovial enough. It doesn't seem like they feel under much of a threat or anything like that. Although they do eye you suspiciously, as in many small villages of the Empire, strangers are not a particularly welcome sight. You leave the village behind and pass through the field, this fairly small hill. And then as you reach that hill after about 15, 20 minutes walk or so, you can see the path leads further east, and it seems to be leading into some, imagine that must be the Brendel Forest, after which the village is named. In front of the forest, so in between you and the forest, however, you see 2 farmhouses. It's kind of like 2 farms. One slightly smaller, that's kind of closer to you, and the other one a little larger with some sort of large barn behind it that's a bit further away. There's no one to be seen at either of the houses from what you can tell from the distance away from the closest one.
So do we know which one is their house?
You don't actually. You haven't asked specifically.
Okay, I will go. If there's no one around, I'll go to the nearest house and
Yeah, that's the smaller farm. It's just like one small building surrounded by a bit of a fence. It seems.
I'll look around for any kind of identification that might, like, if there's a name somewhere or.
Can you read? Yes, this is Warhammer. You do not have read right. Sorry, I believe it's a feat, not a skill.
Yep, that's a talent. Read right.
That's right. So if you do not have that talent, you cannot read or write. Does anyone have talent?
Yes,
I've got linguistics.
Linguistics just means you pick up new languages quicker. It doesn't help you read or write them.
I can read and write, being a doctor.
Of course, Gustav has learned his letters, and is at least in Reichspiel, your main language. And you, Gustav, indeed, you spot a small, like wooden board, basically, that says Schneider Farm.
I'm gonna walk up there and pretend that I'm also reading it.
I believe maybe the next farm is theirs. This is Schneider Farm.
Yeah, the Schneider Farm. That's what I was going to say.
So I'll head over to the next farm.
Okay. Yeah, that's about maybe 300-400 yards further down the road, basically, from where you are. The Schneider Farm looks quiet and deserted from what you can tell. But you leave it behind, you continue down the road, and as you're approaching, you see this other farm. It's slightly bigger. There's one sort of main building, there's a small outhouse, and beyond that is a large barn, kind of behind the farm from where you were coming towards it. And you notice something very quickly. There is a large, medium-sized kind of wagon, four-wheeled wagon, parked at the side of the building, kind of like, looks like it's sort of looks like someone's getting ready to use it, basically. But there is no horse or oxen tied to it, nor is there anything on it. It's just sort of parked in a kind of, I guess, open spot.
Is it possible for a man to draw or pull or push that cart, or there should be an animal?
It would be fairly heavy for a man. It might be able, a strong man might be able to, but it would probably be fairly heavy. He wouldn't be able to push it pull it very long.
So we can assume that there should be an animal ready if
yeah, an oxen or a mule or of some sort. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna head in and I'm gonna go straight for the door and knock on it.
You come up to the door, and as you reach out, swings inwards. It wasn't closed properly. As you kind of hit it with your knuckle, it swings inward. And roll me a perception check, please.
All right.
Heinrich's gonna draw his sword once he sees this. This looks suspicious. Okay.
Heinrich is very quick with his blade.
He has to always be ready.
Yeah.
Any pluses or anything?
Plus 10.
All right. I rolled 11 against 43.
Wow. So that's 40 of your general perception, or is that just with the already plus 10?
My perception is 37.
Okay, so that's 4 levels of success for you. 3 levels of success. That's quite significant. So you look around, gazing into the building. You immediately spot on the side of the door, sort of on the ground, and a little bit on the wall right next to the door, looks like the remnants of a blood stain.
Okay, then I pull my dagger.
The rain has washed it away mostly, but it's still visible.
I put my hand on your shoulder. So if they are home, I whisper, not very quiet. I said, if they are home, it's best if I go first, because 3 of you look a little rough around the edges.
Right. Let him go first. I agree.
Sure. Go first.
I'm
just gonna shrug my shoulder away from your hand and go in anyway.
Then I call out, Hello, anyone home? Clara, Richard, it's Gustav.
As you call it out, all of you guys hear a soft rustling noise towards the back part of the house. It's kind of quick rustling noise, and then it goes quiet again. There's no other response.
Clara, it's your cousin Gustav. Are you home?
Alex, I will. I see that my friends are not willing to do it. I will start to encircle around the house, but I'll do it as much stealth as I can and as much silent. And moreover, I draw a hook that is my hand weapon.
Okay.
I carry under my coat. In the cape, so this is the hook that you are.
That you use for like lifting boxes and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's a little bit rusty, but trusty, and so I encircle house to look around.
Okay. So roll me a stealth check for the halfling.
Okay. So my agility is 44. Okay. And I have 13 advances, so I have 57.
Wow, that's very stealthy.
And I rolled 9.
Wow, that is 5 levels.
5 degrees of success.
Yeah, 5.
See where the halfling went? You
have no idea where Wilhard went.
The real question is, where is your pocket money? Okay, no, I sneak around the house.
Okay. So Wilhard starts sneaking around the house. What is the rest of you doing?
Heinrich is going to slowly approach, probably behind the cousin, whose name I forgot. Yeah.
I'm not going to sneak, but I'm going to try and investigate and look for any kind of any other signs of combat or violence.
Yeah. Okay. So Siegfried, roll me a perception check. And Heinrich and Gustav, you enter the building, and both of you with your weapons drawn, a dagger and a short sword, and it's a little dark inside. The windows are closed, like the window blinds, the wooden shutters are closed, but you can make out some silhouettes basically of what looks to be some sort of like a living room / kitchen area, and you can see that at the back of the house, where it's probably like a bedroom area, the windows seem to be open because there's light in the bedroom area. And Siegfried, what did you have on your perception check?
29. I have 37 in perception.
Okay, so that's a 1 success. Looking around, you do not spot any other obvious signs of violence. However, you do get a bit of a bad feeling. Looking around, you have probably seen 1 or 2 crime scenes in your life, at least as a sort of apprentice road warden in a way. And it's quiet. It's very quiet, and something's not quite right. And you can hear what sounds like some sort of animal, maybe a cow or an oxen, kind of quietly mooing. That seems to be coming from the barn, but it seems that the noise seems kind of nervous, as if the animal was tense or nervous for some reason.
Can I look around as well?
Certainly, yeah.
Oh my goodness. 62 out of 36.
Yeah. From what you can tell, it seems deserted, but everything seems fine. While Wilhard, you're circling around the house, you kind of circle to the farthest corner of the house, and you kind of peek around the corner to see behind it. And you can see that there's a back door there, a small one, and the back door is mostly closed with just a little bit of opening. And there is a bearded man, maybe in his late 20s, mid to late 20s, sort of cowering behind there, pressed against the wall and peeking into the house through that little bit of an opening of the back door. He hasn't noticed you.
Who of us has spotted him?
Only Vilhard, only the halfling has seen it. The other one, the rest of you is in the house, in the front part.
Is it a human or something else?
He's human. From what you can tell, he's human. Sort of a bearded face with long, dark brown hair. He looks a little disheveled, and from what you can tell, he's wearing a dagger on his side, but no other weapons.
Okay, so I try to reach him, you know, and suddenly strike at his legs with my hook.
Okay, so you're trying to basically drop him onto the ground, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have snuck up to him successfully, which means we have a very brief combat now. He is surprised, which means that he cannot react to your attack, and you have you get one point of advantage. So notice that, which means because you have 1 point of advantage, and all your attacks in this combat until you lose that point of advantage are the +10. So everything's a little easier for you, basically.
Okay.
He cannot defend against the attack that he does not see coming, so I'm not rolling anything. Usually, when you attack someone in combat, both people roll, and they compare their levels of success to see who wins, basically. In this case, it is just your own single attack. Because he is surprised, you get a +20, and because you have one level of advantage, you get another +10. So it's a +30 in total, and you're rolling for your weapon skill, or I don't know if you have the melee weapon specialty under skills or anything like that.
Okay, so my weapon skill is 31, but I have advanced with 5 advances, so my weapon skill final is 36.
Right, so you have 66 chance at the moment.
Yes, and I have advantage, so I add 10 to my weapon skill.
Yes.
So now I have 46% that I will hit him.
Plus 20, because he's surprised. So
yes, so it's 66. I rolled 26.
Okay.
And that I have achieved 4 levels of success with already 1. I have 5. Am I right?
No. The advantage does not give you levels of success. It just gives you points to roll. So you have 4 levels of success. Do you want to damage him, or do you just want to?
I want to strike him with a blunt part of my hook in the knees, so he will drop and will be not able to move. I actually was stricken with pain.
Okay. So you have I think, was it 4 levels of success? I believe, yeah.
Yes, I did.
If this was a normal attack, you would have 4 damage plus your weapon damage, which I believe must be +6 or +7 for you.
No, from what I remember and what I wrote is hand weapon gives you +4.
Yeah, I think it's +3 or +4, something like that.
And I have a +2 from my strength bonus, so it would be 10 points of damage.
Yes, that would be quite a strong blow. 10 points of damage, because he's not wearing any armor. He would lose 10 wounds immediately, or 10 health immediately. However, you're not trying to injure him, so you just basically smash him in the side with the blunt end of the hook, scream, and falls to the ground into the mud. And you all got in a short kind of scream of pain.
I scream, I got him, and I jump on him, and I try to put the nose of my hook, so I will choke him to the ground.
Okay, so basically attempting to grapple him.
Yes.
What's the rest of you doing as you hear the scream?
I think we'll hurry a little bit to try to get over there.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Want to run through the house or around it? Through the house would be faster.
Then I'll run through the house.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so grapple means you have up. That this is an opposed strength test.
Between me and him.
Yes, you have, because you have hit him. You have you have gained a second level of advantage, second point of advantage.
Okay.
So that would be a strength check for you plus 20 because you have 2 points of advantage now.
Okay, I have 24 points of strength and 10 advances, so which gives me 34 plus 2 levels of advantage, so it is 54.
Yes, correct, 54.
And I rolled 16.
16. Ooh, that's 4 levels of success.
Yes.
Let's see. Yeah, he failed. So you easily pin him to the ground, and though he's struggling and you're smaller, he's so surprised and you're just so ferocious that you pin him to the ground, press your hook against his throat, and he's just like, please, I'm not. Please don't hurt me. And as you guys run through the house, you come upon the scene of this halfling pinning this guy to the ground, basically standing on his chest and holding his hook to his throat.
Alex, I'm like those rat catcher's dog, little but vicious.
Yeah, exactly. Small but vicious dog. All right.
Yes. Okay.
Wanted to see if I can see the guy's face. If I recognize him.
You can see face. You do not recognize him. He's a bearded, slight scar on his right cheek, kind of a potato-like nose, not particularly. And his clothing is a little wet, a little muddy, and generally based on his clothing and appearance. And he's like, please. I didn't mean anything. I saw. Don't hurt me.
Who are you?
Just can you just put that away?
I have no control over him.
Please, good sir, Master Halfling.
The quicker you answer our questions, the quicker he'll release you.
All right, fair enough. My name's Edward. Edward. This is my brother's house. He points at the house behind you, or behind him, or touching the wall.
Richard is your brother?
Yeah. I'm his younger brother.
Is there anything equivalent to like an insight check?
Yes, that would be. Let me check for a moment. There is
intuition.
A skill for that. Yes, that's how what it's called. It's intuition check. Yes.
I would like to do that.
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead.
I failed by more than 30.
Okay.
I rolled 17 against 27.
Oh, so that's 1 level of success. He seems stressed and honest, you would say. Although you're not 100% sure. You don't know this guy very well, obviously.
I'll try to pull the rabid halfling off him.
If you know his name, if he is your brother, what is his wife's mother's name?
Fuck. Well, I know his wife's mother's name. Or his wife's name's Clara, though. I know that.
You don't know her mother's name?
No. I've only met her like once. All right.
Hey.
I don't know. I don't trust him.
Do you want me to slit his throat?
I don't think it's that serious.
No.
Well, no, I don't think it. Whether or not I trust him or not, I don't know if that warrants you slitting his throat. Please. What's up with all this violence?
What about that? I didn't do anything.
Alex, so I let him hide a hook inside my under my cape.
You sort of stop. He's gone pretty painful. Rubbing his neck. Oh, thank you.
Well, do you know where Clara and Richard are? We were sent to check in on them.
No, I was looking for them myself. I wanted to talk to my brother, but he wasn't here. I've only arrived about an hour or so ago myself. Was hoping I could spend the night, but well, you see, no one's here.
Well, the house is empty, so I don't doubt anyone will try to stop you.
Yes, sir. You said.
Sorry?
Who sent you to check on them?
Clara's mother.
Oh, right. Well, they're not here.
No, we've deduced as much.
Do you have any idea where they might be?
No clue. I mean, as I said, I only arrived about an hour ago myself. The last time I've been here was a couple of days ago. They were still here. Everything seemed all right.
So why weren't you knocking on the door instead of skulking around the windows?
Well, I was inside when you arrived. I didn't know who you were, and that one fella, and he points at Heinrich, had a sword out, so I didn't like.
So you just broke into their house.
Well, I was just
Decided to
looking.
hang out.
He looks a little nervous at that, but he says, I was just looking for them. It's all worried, right? As a brother should be.
Right.
Do I believe this guy?
What's it called?
I also want to roll in insight in quotes.
Yeah, intuition check. Yeah, go for it. I'll give you plus 20.
Okay. And I rolled a 19.
Okay, that seems like a success. Pretty decent one. You get the feeling that this guy's a bit shifty. You think he's telling the truth about being related, but there's definitely something he's nervous about, something that he's not telling you.
Okay. Henrik will say, what are you trying to hide? None of your story fits together.
I didn't not hiding anything. So,
Do you want the hook again? Because we can get the hook again.
no, fuck no. Keep that little.
I'm gonna kneel down and put my dagger to his throat. I'm not gonna like push it in or anything. Just keep it near it.
He stood up. He's no longer lying on the ground.
Okay, well then
Okay.
can I push him up against the wall then?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, he's not resisting with the four of you there. Oh, please! Holy shit! Guys, I'm. All right. Listen. My brother's coin. All right. I was just trying to see if I can find some. I'm in a bit of a bad spot, like coin-wise. So it's just like looking around the house, to see if they've left any.
And did you find anything?
No. I wasn't not until you arrived. I just started looking around.
I'm gonna pat him down and go through his pockets.
Okay, you do find a small pouch, and as he sort of like goes a bit paler, and you'll open the pouch and you can see there's about 15 silver shillings in there. Fairly significant sum, not great riches or anything, but still.
I'm gonna take them, pocket them, and I'm gonna tell him that
Hey,
taxes for the imperial coffers.
wait, that's mine. You can't just. I need the money.
So does the Empire. I'll release him.
Well, You mind if I please spend the night here? I mean, after you robbed me and threatened me, I not fancy walking around the dark.
By all means.
All right, then. He pushes past you slowly, opens the back door, and steps inside the house.
Can't remember. Was it just the farmhouse on this piece of land?
There was the main farmhouse. There was a little out, like probably a toilet of some sort, like a tiny hut, and there was a rather large barn about maybe 20 yards behind the house, kind of away from you at the moment.
I say we check out the barn. If not, we head into town and see if the tavern keep knows anything about where they went.
Either that, or if there's been any trouble going around in the area.
Yes.
All right. So who wants to head towards the barn?
I'll.
Does anybody?
No, I'm just considering if I should keep an eye on the guy.
I mean, he is their brother, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that hasn't stopped people from doing shitty things.
Yeah, I don't think Heinrich cares if the guy spends the night there.
No. I already got my coin, so I'll go check out the barn.
Okay. I started walking up ahead. I'm pretty oblivious to any danger right now. So
Gustav and Siegfried are heading towards the barn. What about Heinrich and Wilhard?
Heinrich will follow at a distance with his hand on his blade.
Okay.
I'm gonna sheath my dagger and pull my crossbow instead.
Now you have a crossbow. Wow, you're really well armed.
Yeah.
Put a crossbow bolt on it. Master Thorncobble, what are you doing?
Well, I still have a keep an eye on that so-called brother of Richard. But I thought I will have a quick look around. Perhaps I can find some traces, tracks. I'm quite curious what happened here. Why they have left?
Okay.
Why is it sudden?
So, are you looking inside the house or outside the house?
No, I want to peek outside the house.
Okay. So do you have the tracking skill?
Unfortunately, I don't have it.
Okay, in that case, you just have to roll me a normal perception check.
Perception
Because
check.
tracking is an advanced skill, which means that you cannot roll on an advanced skill unless you have it. That's one of the stuff.
So this is my initiative, and I have a 13 advances, so it is 44.
Okay.
And I rolled 63.
Okay. So you start looking around a bit, the outside of the house and the back, but if there were any tracks, the rain must have washed them away over the course of the last, well, however many hours. Old they are. While Wilhard is doing that, and the other three of you approach the barn door. You can see the barn door is there's a large double wooden door. The barn looks fairly new. The barn door is open a little bit. And as you approach, you can hear like a moo sound from inside, some sort of cow or oxen of some sort.
Clearly a demon.
Yeah, or a demon.
I'll pop my head inside.
Okay. The first thing that hits you is the smell. It's pretty dark inside the barn, but you can smell sort of stale hay, what smells like animal shit, and a slight twinge of decay.
That's not very nice. I'll go in and go through the barn and see if I can find any traces of anything useful.
Do you want to slip inside or open the door wide?
I'll open the door wide first, scan the area, and keep my.
Okay. Roll me a perception check. What are Heinrich and Gustav doing while Siegfried's opening the door and kind of looking.
Kind of watching his back, keeping an eye out.
Oh, so you're staying outside, all right?
Yeah, he'll follow him in, but he won't go in first.
Okay.
Well, Gustav is going in. Once the door is wide open, he's going to look around.
Okay. So both Gustav and Siegfried, roll me a perception check, please.
Is on the deed. Oh yeah, it's okay. So I rolled 30.
Failed by 29, I think.
Okay. So you two fail.
And my perception is 37.
Okay. So that's one level of 0 levels of success, in fact. So Gustav, you step in, and it's fairly dark in the barn. It's like sort of smell, stench of, and you see there's a large shadow moving to your right, which you recognize as an oxen in a small like enclosure. You kind of focus on the animal, smell its stink, and you're like, ugh. While this is happening, Siegfried, your eyes fall onto what looks to be something like a small figure of some sort on the ground in between the sort of straw, and you approach it a bit more closely, and you realize that the decay is coming from there. And what you see is a rather large-looking cat, or what is left of one, to be precise. The cat's very dead, and it looks like it's been partially torn apart and maybe even eaten. There's a bit of a decay smell in the air, so it's probably dead for at least a few hours.
I'll push it over with the tip of my boot to see if I can have a closer look at it.
Okay. As you do so, you hear a growling sound from the shadows further deeper into the barn.
I'll train my crossbow in that direction.
You lift up your crossbow, and you see two pairs of little yellow eyes looking at you from the darkness. And then, with blistering speed, a furred creature about the size of a medium-sized dog comes leaping out from the darkness, and you just catch a quick glimpse onto an open mouth, sharp teeth, and kind of a weirdly stunted body with patches of skin and patches of hair and a naked tail. It looks like some sort of bizarre cross between a cat, a dog, and a rat of some sort. And it just goes for you straight up. However, because you're the only one not surprised, and you have more initiative than these creatures, so you can take a shot or whatever you want.
Yeah, I'll just let loose my crossbow. Yeah.
Okay, so as it's coming, you like shoot, take a shot. But in combat, just in general, people act in their initiative order. In combat, you have a movement and an action, basically, and then there's a bunch of free stuff that you can do. The most important thing that you can do with your action is, of course, attack. With your movement, you can move. Your movement. I think that you have a movement characteristic somewhere on your character sheet. And next to it, it says walk. So it's double your movement. That's how many yards you can move in one round, basically.
Yeah.
If you use your action to also move, then it's becoming a run, which means that you can move however much your run distance says on your character sheet.
Right.
But you're not moving at the moment. So you just see this creature coming and you take a shot. This creature is a small creature, smaller than you anyway, which means you take a -10 to the shot. However, because it is very close, you get a +20. So it's
so +10.
Yeah, total of +10.
Right, and let's see here then. Range crossbow, I've got 42, so 52 I got to roll under.
Okay.
And I rolled 50.
That is 0 levels of success, but it is success. So the creature cannot defend against ranged attacks. At least I think it can't. Let's see, just a quick check. I think you can only attack, cannot be opposed with melee skills. Okay, so it can do dodge then. Okay. So the creature will try to twist out of the way, however, fails to do so. You shoot it. It is only a glancing blow because you do not have any levels of success. So the only thing you deal is your basic weapon damage. I don't know what that much.
Plus 9.
Ooh, that's a lot. So 9 damage to this creature.
Yes.
Let me see. See, 9 damage. It has a toughness of 2, so you deal 7 damage, which is enough to actually kill it. So as the thing comes running at you, you take a shot and you strike it in the side of the neck, basically, piercing deeply into its form, and it stumbles into you and then slides down, like against your legs, dead.
I'll stumble back and try and get away a bit from it. Sort of.
The same moment, while you're stumbling back, a second of these creatures appears from the darkness, this one going for Gustav, who is surprised and did not realize that shit is going down. So Gustav, you look up and you see this thing that's leaping at you from the shadows of the further part of the barn. So this creature has moved. So if you move against someone, that gives you a plus 10. It basically gives you 1 point of advantage. And because you are surprised, it gains another point of advantage. So the creature has 2 points of advantage, which adds plus 20 to its attack. And because you are surprised, I believe you cannot... Actually, let me check that real quick, just to make sure. Where are we? One last thing one more thing that I should mention. If you roll doubles in combat, so like a 22, a 33, 44, whatever, tell me, please, because that's a critical hit.
Okay.
Where are we? Conditions. Page 168. Let's see. Surprised. You can take no action or move on your turn and cannot defend yourself in opposed tests. Any opponent trying to strike you in melee combat gains a bonus of plus 20. So, yeah, the creature has a total of plus 40.
All right, I'll just start making a new character. No.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's see. So it leaps out of the darkness and rolls a plus 40. That's a 65. Oh, it has 4 levels of success. Yeah. So that would be a total of. It hits you at a. That's a 12. I believe that's a headshot, actually. No, it's not, actually. Sorry, left arm. So if you check the second part of your character sheet, you can see a little figure. And that figure has hit zones, basically. So head, left arm, right arm, body, and so on. Once you strike at someone and you hit, you turn the number you rolled around. So this creature rolled a 21, which becomes a 12. So I switched the 1 and the 2. The 2 and the 1, I should say, into a 1 and the 2, and then I check on this chart. 10 to 24 means left arm, which means that the creature leaps up at you, you raise your left arm, and it bites you in the arm. You can feel its sharp teeth sinking into your flesh. And the creature does, so we said 4 levels of success, so it deals 8 damage against you.
Okay. Now
what happens is, if you have any armor, you reduce that from the damage. I do not believe that Gustav has any armor.
Nope.
However, you do have toughness. And the first number of your toughness, so the first digit of your toughness, which is called your toughness bonus, is also deduced from any attacks that hit you. So I believe your toughness should be a 3, if I'm correct. Yeah. Right. So you deduce that, you subtract that from the damage. So it was 8 damage. You do not have any armor, so it still stays 8 damage. However, you take 5 damage, because 8 minus 3 is 5.
Okay.
So you lose 5 of your 11 or 12 or however many wounds you have. As you can see, combat can be quite quick and brutal in Warhammer. So you've already lost half your health with 1 attack. Admittedly, a fairly good attack, but nonetheless. So this creature bites you in the arm, tears out a small chunk of flesh, and hisses at you. And that's the end of its turn. It gains another level of another advantage point, because every time you hit someone successfully, you gain an advantage point. So it has 3 points of advantage at the moment. However, Siegfried, you also have, I believe, 1 point of advantage because you hit it successfully, the creature. You've gained 1 point of advantage. Gustav, it is your turn. You're up first in the initiative order on the second round of combat. You see this mutated thing, this whatever it is, dog thing, basically just bit your arm right in front of you. What do you wish to do? Gustav? Paul?
Sorry. Yes. Sorry, I missed. So I guess I will pull out my dagger and try to stab the creature.
Okay. So that's a free action to pull one weapon, and you stab down on it, trying to get it. It gives you a hiss, and it will use its dodge. So you're rolling a weapon skill check with I believe, I'm not sure if you have the melee simple melee skill.
No.
Okay, so you just straight up weapon skill check. So with the WS is your weapon skill in your main characteristics, main attributes. That's what you're rolling against.
Rolling. Most of my dice rolls have been over 50. This I got a 60 out of 24 is my skill.
Yeah, so the creature dodges out of the way quite easily. Your dagger just slices through the air. And the creature gains another point of advantage because it defended successfully. So it's up to 3 points now.
Now, would I be able to move away from it?
So disengaging works in the following way. If you have advantage, you can just disengage. Because you do not have advantage, in fact, the creature has advantage, you cannot simply disengage. What you can do is, I think it's some sort of check. Yeah, you can do a dodge check against its melee skill. And so if you succeed on that, you can move back away from it. If you fail on it, you will provoke an attack of opportunity.
Let's try this. Either way, I'm going to get a hit now or I get hit later. So I'm going to try to dodge.
Okay. So roll me a dodge skill check.
Oh, he doesn't even have to roll, I don't think. I rolled 89. And my dodge is a 27.
You failed. The creature gains another point of advantage and will strike at you. And with 4 points of advantage, it nonetheless. Roll me a either another dodge check to evade the attack, or roll me a melee like a melee attack with your dagger, basically to parry it. It's up to you.
Dodge is a few points higher than melee.
Right, so you would use that then.
60.
Okay, you are struck by the creature. However, it does not have any degrees of success. So it gains another point of advantage, up to 5 points now. However, you take, I believe it's 4 damage. Yeah, 4 damage. So just 1 damage.
Okay.
Your so it just nicks you in the
now. I'm just wondering, what is TB times 2 under wounds?
That just shows you how you calculate your wounds. That's all. So toughness bonus times 2 means TB means toughness bonus, and times 2 means that's basically how you calculate your wounds total, which I already did for you.
Okay.
Anyway, so the creature grabs a hold of you, basically biting your leg, holding you fast, not allowing you to escape. So Wilhard is too far away to participate in this specific combat, but we have Heinrich and Siegfried. So Heinrich is up first.
Heinrich is going to hit this thing in the face with a sword.
Yes. So you run up to it, to the thing. You have 1 advantage because you're running up to it. It's just a sort of the charge, more or less, that gives you an advantage. And you are trying to strike down on it. Roll me an attack.
Okay, I rolled a 19.
That is a success. So you flip that. So that's how many levels of success is that?
Is it just weapon skill?
If depends on if you have the melee basic skill.
I do have melee basic.
So you
It's
roll against that then.
minus 46 with the skill.
46, and you rolled what?
19.
So 4 minus 1 is 3. You always just take the first digits, basically, of the two. So
Okay.
you have 3 levels of success. Oh, sorry, no, you had a 1 point of advantage. So it's not 46, it's 56. So you have 4 levels of success.
Okay.
The creature tries to dodge out of the way, which it will succeed with 1 level of success, but you still hit it with 3 levels more, basically.
Okay.
It sounds a bit complicated. It's not, I don't think it's, it kind of takes a while to get used to it. So what you roll, you hit it with basically a 3 levels of success. It means you deal your weapon damage plus 3.
Yeah, that'd be 7 plus 3, 10.
10 damage, yeah, that sounds about right. And the creature's dead.
Thank you. Right. Whoa.
Run out to it, swing down your blade, and just cut through its head.
That was a little unexpected.
Yeah. You should learn how to fight there a little bit, man. And then he'll walk over to the body of the of the fallen creature.
I'm gonna force down the bile at the back of my throat, and then I'm gonna try and retrieve my crossbow bolt.
Okay, yeah, you rip it out of the creature.
I will be doing some healing and bandaging and stuff.
Yeah.
I had a couple questions.
Yes.
What do the bandages do, and what does the healing draft? I don't know.
Short, I think.
Trot.
I'm not actually sure. The bandages just basically allow you to do a healing check. The healing draw, I might have to check what it does. Let's see. I found it already. Let's see what it does. Wait, what? Healing torch. Oh, if you have more than 0 wounds, recover your toughness bonus in wounds immediately. That's what it does. It's kind of like a healing potion, I guess.
So heal my toughness?
Yes.
Toughness bonus.
Your toughness.
First digit of your toughness.
So 30 becomes 3.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. The bonus of a characteristic is always the first digit of it, basically.
Right. Well, let me try to heal first and see how much I heal.
Choice, yeah.
All right, let's see if I can actually heal. I haven't done anything else. 65 out of 52, so I failed.
You do fail indeed. However, you do not damage yourself. So
I got over by 1.
yeah,
10. I got at least 1 over.
You got 1 over, but you would have to go more than your intelligence bonus over to damage someone. Your intelligence bonus would be 4, I believe.
Oh, then yeah, I went. Oh yeah, I rolled a 65, which is 13 higher.
Yeah. No. By levels of failure, so you have to go by basically 50 over to damage.
Which I can't do.
Which, yeah, exactly. That's why I thought you might like a skilled healer is not usually unless you roll like 100 or something, you can't really damage someone.
Okay, then I'll use the trot. And you said that heals 3.
Yeah, it heals your toughness bonus. So if you have 30 something toughness, yeah, to basically treat the wound, apply the healing bolt, and take step up.
So one use thing. Sorry. It's a one use thing.
Yeah, it's a one-use thing, yeah.
Okay. So Gustav tries to bandage himself up. Looks like the wound is still festering, but so he pulls out this vial out of his bag, his sling bag that's slung over his shoulder, and he drinks. He pours it over the wound, and it hisses and stuff and foams up, and then he reapplies the bandage over it.
Yeah, it stinks nearly as bad as the creatures.
Oh, and I sent you a private message because I one of my talents.
Right. So the doomed talent, which I believe 3 of you have, what that basically means is when you were 10 years old, there's this tradition in the Empire for all humans, pretty much. So pretty much every human has this talent. Your parents pay a soothsayer to foretell your future. However, not just any future. He foretells you how you will find your doom. So basically how you will die, which is a great thing to know as a 10-year-old. But that's the Empire for you. So, and there's a long table that I have basically with like a lot of different, just like weird quotes that the soothsayer has told you. So there's a quote there that is basically what the soothsayer told you after considering your future. And so you know that many people don't believe in that. Some people do believe in it a lot. It depends on how superstitious your character is, basically. But it's like a tradition in the Empire. So that's basically what that feat, that talent does.
Okay. And if nobody else does anything, I'm going to actually try to pull... I'll grab a piece of cloth or something, and I'll try to pull out the one of the goblin bodies into the light, or what's left of it.
Well, it's not a goblin for once. You can tell that for sure.
Okay, the creature. Sorry, the creature.
It's not green. It's not humanoid. It looks, as I said, like some sort of mixture of a diseased kind of dog, cat, rat thing.
I roll Reichland lore to see if.
Roll me a Reichland lore check, sure.
Okay, that's what I was doing. Okay, I'm looking for new dice. That was a 62 out of 45 on my skill.
You have no clue what this could be.
I rolled, let's see, 18 against 34.
Okay, so looking at this creature, you're not sure what it might be, but you definitely know that this is not a natural creature. This must be some sort of creature that has been touched by chaos, like dark magic.
I'm gonna step away.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good idea.
Is chaos like? Is it so evil that you can't touch it? Like,
yeah. Well, it depends on who you ask, but yeah, it's generally on the safe side.
You don't want to risk it.
To not have anything to do with chaos or those touched by chaos, because they carry like a disease potential that might lead to mutations.
Okay.
And if you have a mutation, the nice people called witch hunters will hunt you down and kill you.
Okay. I would like to burn these bodies at some point.
Yeah, you can do that if you want. You look around and you find one of those pitchfork, basically, and you pierce both the bodies and carry them outside, throw them on the small heap, and find maybe a bit of straw, put it on it, and I'm assuming you have some sort of tinderbox of some sort, and light the on fire. And the bodies of these two creatures, twisted in death, not much more than they were twisted in life, though, slowly catching fire. The stench is indescribable.
Oh yeah. Heinrich could be like moving far away and probably like literally just like walking away as they're going up in flames.
Right. Edward comes out of the back door, sort of looking around and says, What the hell is that? Yeah.
I think it was chaos. Some sort of chaos creatures.
What? Chaos creatures?
Yeah, you might not want to stay here tonight.
Oh, holy shit, mate. Sigmar and all the saints protect us. I'm not staying here at all. Not a moment longer, in fact. He turns and starts just like jogging away towards the ridge. And you can see him looking around nervously, like while he's doing that, as if he's expecting some sort of chaos creature to leap at him from the bushes any moment.
Too bad he can't stay at the inn.
Okay, so what are you guys doing?
Yeah, I think we should probably head back to the village.
And I'd like to keep an eye out for any more of these creatures.
Okay. So all of you heading back?
Oh yeah. I don't want to be out here by myself.
Why not?
Maybe about an hour and a half before nightfall. So you'll
Yeah.
make one.
I gotta stand behind the meat shield. I mean, my friend.
That's better.
Okay. So all four of you leave the whole farm behind and start returning, making your way back to Brendewald. Looking around a little nervously, you can see Edward Holst sort of getting further and further away as he's moving fairly fast. And with the approaching darkness, everything around you, especially with these that you have seen these chaos creatures now, takes on a very sinister glow, and you're not quite sure you want to know what happened here too closely. However, you make it back in time to the village, and that will take a 5-minute break.
All right.
And jump back into the scenario in about 5 minutes as you are arriving at the River Gold Tavern.
All right.
In 5. Okay, guys, whenever you're ready, let me know.
I'm all set.
All right. And I believe Paul is back as well.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Okay, it looks like only Michael's missing for now.
I'm sorry, but I had to make myself a tea because I was almost all day outside of house and I almost drink nothing.
No, it's fine.
So, Alex, what's your take on the combat rules? I think I like them.
I'm not sure yet. I have to test it a couple times. At the moment, they seem a little too complicated for me, for my liking. But let's see. As I said, I'll have to test him a couple more times.
They are quite paradox because you have to keep tracking those advantages
for every single guy, basically.
If I correct understand them, you can still gain advantage while you miss on your roll, and your opponent also misses.
No, you have to hit or defend successfully. So if you defend successfully, yeah. If you defend, yeah, you're right. If you attack, you have to hit to gain advantage. If you defend, as long as the defense is successful, you gain advantage.
Okay, so this is a minus for the writing, and I'm not entirely sold on this keeping advantage because
yeah, I agree. The thing that bothers me most with it is that every check is a contested check. So you have to always say, with every single attack, you have to say, this is how many levels I have. And then the other guy also has to say, this is how many levels I have. And that
pulls games down because you roll all the time.
You have to speak about rules all the time, which is something that I would like to avoid if I can, because it pulls you out of the narrative. It pulls you out of the story. So every time I attack, having to say, okay, three levels, and the other guy says, okay, 2 levels, I hit. That bothers me personally. I'll have to test a bit more to see if it's actually as annoying as I'm finding it at the moment. It might be a little less, but at the moment, I'm not really sold on it. Anyway, jumping back into the game, everyone is here. So you guys, about maybe half an hour before sundown, are coming back to Brendelwald, the village of Brendelwald, that is, approaching the River Sol again. And you see there's still this fire in the center of the village burning, casting this light around the sort of semi-darkness of the houses. And you can see lights lit in a couple of buildings, mostly in that one large building that you have seen before, the River Gold Tavern. And as you approach, you can hear voices from the inside, and there's light blazing out from the windows. And you can see there's a single sign on the front which shows some sort of fish in golden color.
Well, looks like the right place.
You step inside, and you can see there's about maybe half a dozen or so local villagers sitting there, mostly in a single group, with one older fellow, the one that you've actually met before, that bearded, hook-nosed fellow with the wheelbarrow, sitting at the bar. And there's an older fellow as well behind the bar, but very large fellow, white-shouldered, broad-chested, with a very little hair left on his head, and that's kind of silverish black color. It looks like he was once a very, very powerful man, but has shrunk down a bit in age. He must be in his mid-50s or so, maybe, but he's still fairly large. You look up, he looks up as you enter and gives you a look, and says, "Oh, Strangers, welcome to the River Gold Tavern. What can I help you with?
Greetings. My name is Gustav Schwartz. My aunt is Elise. What was that? What was her last name again?
Castle. Elsa Castle.
Elsa Castle.
Oh, Elsie. I know well. How's she doing? Is everything all right with her?
She is doing fine. She asked us to check in on her daughter, Clara.
Yeah, I know her. She lives half an hour east of the village and the farm.
We just came from there. It seems they've gone missing.
What do you mean missing?
Nobody's there. The only person we found was that gentleman over there.
No, that's not. No, that's the guy with the wheelbarrow that you met when you exited.
Oh, sorry.
The boat. You cannot see Edward Holst anywhere. He's not present.
Okay. We saw someone claiming to be Richard's brother, but that's about it.
That bearded fella, Edward was his name, right?
Yes.
So he said.
Yeah, I've seen him around a day or two ago. Edward doesn't really like him much. He's told me that he's a bit of a scoundrel, his brother is.
We deduce as much, but we did run into some strange-looking dog-like, rat-like creatures where we were going to, hoping to ask if you...
Wait, what do you say? Rat-like, some dog-like, rat-like creatures? What you mean?
Ooh, well, they looked like some sort of rabid, strange splicings of an animal.
Wait, you talking about mutants of some sort or what?
It's possible. I'm not an expert.
Oh, really? Mutants here? I don't. Where do you meet them?
In the barn.
What barn?
In Clara and Richard's barn. Looks like they were partaking in a meal of a cat or something. Sorry.
Mutants in the Holst barn? And you said Richard and Clara are missing?
Yes.
That's not good. I saw them 2-3 days ago. That's where I saw them last.
Anything strange about them?
Not
at
that
the time?
I think they were getting ready for some sort of trip.
They were supposed to visit her mother, yes.
Right. Well, that's all I know.
Where'd you see them?
Well, they were in town getting some supplies. Right there, actually. He points at the spot next to where you're standing. Sold them a bit of meat, a bit of bread from the road.
And there's nothing strange that's been happening around the village?
I mean, not that I've noticed, but if this is what's happening, then we need to be ready. We need to go search for them. They were dragged away or chased off by some sort of mutant dogs. This won't stand. Not here. Not in Brindlewold. Not while I'm there.
Of course not.
He looks up to the men in the room and he said, "What to one of them?" He said, "Kurt, come here." You see a lanky, tall fella approach cautiously. Yeah. What's going on? Now listen, these fellas here, they say they went out to the Holt farm and Richard and his wife gone. Yeah, well, they were about to go on a trip or something. Yeah, that's what I said, but they didn't leave.
Their cart is still there.
Oh, right. Well, the worst thing is they found some sort of mutant dogs or something in the barn. Mutants? By the gods, that's not good. Yeah, that's what I say. Now listen up. Gather get Niels and Helmet and your brother and Tell them to come here. Tell them to bring some weapons. We'll go out, search for them in the morning. If there's any of these mutants close by, I want to know. I want to kill them. Us go looking for mutants in the dark. No, I said in the morning, dimwit. Right. I'll tell them. You want them to come here now, though? Yeah, we need to make plans with these fellas here.
We should check in with the Schneiders as well, seeing how they lived rather close.
Yeah, it's true. I haven't seen them in a few days either. Anyway, get yourself gone. Yeah, Kurt nods a couple times, nods to you as well, and hurries out the door. A couple of the other older men that are present are sort of looking on the side. One of them shouts out, did I hear the word mutants? Yeah. And he walks up and starts telling the story again, basically, ignoring you for now, just leaving you at the bar.
Would have been nice with a room.
Well, you do kind of notice that there's no rooms really in this place. It just seems to be one story, the one large room at the front, kind of the bar room, and then there's it might be like a small kitchen in the back, but it doesn't really look like they really have rooms.
Does it seem to have any kind of like common room then with beds available?
Probably just has a couple of like bedrolls in front of the fireplace of some sort.
Well, that'll do.
That seems like the kind of place that would just sit in a common room, basically.
So if we could have a place to stay for the night, we rest up.
So
after discussing our plans.
The innkeeper turns. Of course. So the least I can do, you can sleep right here. I'll give you some blankets or some sort.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Hey, yeah, of course.
It's been a long day.
He looks at the sort of bandage around your arms. What's that? You got hurt?
Oh,
he
nothing.
smashed himself on a.
Yeah. Don't worry. I'm actually a physician. Just a little cut. Nothing to worry about.
Give me let's see. That would be a.
Please say charm.
Charm, yes. There's a charm check, definitely.
Okay.
Can I help in any way?
Yeah. You if with you saying it's a small cut, that will give you a +10 basically on the charm.
Okay, so 48 becomes 58. Let's see what the roll is.
Another +10, so 68.
68. Well, I rolled an 8.
Okay, so 7 levels of success. 6 levels of success. So he completely believes you. Oscar, the innkeeper, nods. All right then. Well,
doctors are very good at playing down injuries. Oh, you'll be fine. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Alex, how do you perceive, the fight with chaos in the old world? Is it that, for example, one mutant is enough for witch hunters to burn down whole the village?
Well, for some witch hunters it is, for sure. But most are not quite that extreme. But yeah, some witch hunters could very well do that. So hunting down mutants is often an act of self-preservation for other villages, for sure. Not just fear and hatred, but
so I will add that we need to find out what happened there. We need to kill the mutant if there is another one, and most of all, we need to be hush.
I agree. We'll take care of this ourselves with your help, of course. But we don't need to involve.
That's what I was going to say.
Right. Yeah.
We don't need outside interference.
Yeah, I agree. I'll get you some food for now. Take a seat. Some of the other men in the village will be coming soon, and we'll make a plan then. And he sort of disappears in the back, and you can hear him rummaging around the kitchen, cutting up vegetables and meat and stuff, while you're sitting at the counter, basically.
Yep.
And he comes back after about 15 minutes or so with a large wooden platter. And you can see ham and cheese and bread and dried vegetables all cut up. And he adds a couple of boiled eggs, freshly boiled. Pushes it over to you. Well, eat up. You'll need your strength tomorrow. We all will. We're to hunt down these mutant dogs or whatever they are.
Heinrich will eat heartily.
Yeah, the food's pretty decent, all in all. This seems surprisingly good, in fact, for such a small village tavern.
Delicious.
When he's preparing the meal, if nobody's looking, I'm going to inspect my wound.
Okay. Yeah. Check it under the counter. It looks all right. The healing draught definitely burned away whatever potential disease or corruption these creatures were carrying.
That's what I figure. Logic and science will can win over these mutant creature things, diseases. So,
For sure.
I'm satisfied.
As you're finishing your meal, you can see the door opening and a group of about 4 or 5 men come walking in, and they sit down at the counter. And you can see all of them are carrying some sort of weapon, a cudgel, sort of a woodcutter's axe, short sword, a couple of daggers. One of them has a bow slung over his shoulder. One of them is carrying like an old spear. And they all kind of sit up. The innkeeper steps out and basically tells them the story again. He introduces you briefly. These fellas, the ones who found these mutants, this is Niels, our miller, and Helmut, blacksmith, and Kurt, you already know him, and his brother Hans, and this here is Reinhard. The points at the guy with the spear. They all kind of nod.
And I'm going to say, well, you're in luck with a road warden in charge. We'll get to the bottom of this.
Oh, you're a road warden, are you? Well, that's good. So you know how to fight then.
Of course.
With your armor and stuff. None of us have that sort of thing here.
No, as long as you make sure you cover up properly so we don't risk any infections.
Well, we'll give our best. The guy with the spear, Reinhard, leads in and says, Road warden, you said. So what's the plan then? You have some like fighting experience. What do you think we should do?
Well, who are your most experienced trackers and hunters?
Well, he points at the sort of blonde fellow next to him, the one with the bow. Well, Hans here is yeah, I've done a bit of hunting. I mean, I don't know if I call myself a greatly super experienced tracker or anything, but yeah.
Fair enough. Any hounds in the village then?
What? Yeah, but no hunting hounds. These like guard dogs. Hunting hounds expensive. We can't afford that.
Well, I think our best bet is to check in with our Schneiders in the morning. Go from there.
Yeah, they nod.
Then fan out around the farms and look for any tracks. I do doubt we'll find much because of the rain and all, but...
Well, if it's not raining right now, so if those creatures are afoot at night, we'll find their tracks in the morning. I just hope that none of the farmers get attacked or anything.
No, and I think you should all steel yourselves. We might have to perform some mercy.
They look at each other. One of them sort of calls out, what do you mean?
Well, if any of the farmers nearby have been wounded by these creatures, we might have to put them down.
What? Killing our own people? You can't be serious.
Well, of course. They might be infected.
Well, I mean, we've cleaned wounds before.
Would you rather risk a witch hunter find out that some sort of chaos infection has spread throughout the village and burn it all down?
I will take a look at any wounds and make sure that everyone is fine. Let's not go that... let's not think about that unless we have to. I think we'll...
What I'm saying is that you need to be prepared.
Yeah, it's appreciated. It's good to have a doctor with us, some sort of arbor or such. Yeah. You'll take a look at the wounds. Anyway, Getting dark outside. Let me freshen up that fire a bit. Getting a bit low for my liking with mutants out around. And he steps over to the fireplace and starts putting some extra logs in. The other men look at each other, kind of retreating to a table in the corner and starting to talk with each other to a low murmur. None of them look particularly happy with the situation. At least two of them are quite afraid.
What I would like to do is see if I can pick up any information, just through casual conversation, anything strange happening in town, anything like out of the ordinary.
Okay. Roll me a gossip check. I will give you a +10 on the gossip check.
Okay, so 63 is my target, and 12.
Wow,
these dice are a lot better.
5 levels of success. All right. So you start to mingle around with people a bit and start talking to them, checking out if there was anything weird happening. And you do notice, you do hear that one of the guys says that about a week or so ago, a younger fella, he was introduced as the Miller, Niels. He says, yeah, about a week or so ago with the heavy rains, we had that landslide, remember? And the other guys are sort of, yeah, remember, it's up east, wasn't it? Yeah, and I swear, my mill is facing that direction. And the other men are like, yeah, we know that. Well, I've seen some weird stuff, like light or something, a couple nights ago over by that direction. You think that has something to do with the mutants and stuff, where the landslide was?
It's possible. Might have uncovered something.
Yeah, maybe some sort of, some dark magic of some sort. These things happen.
I think once we check around town and the Schneider farm, then maybe we'll head off in that direction. That sounds like a possibility.
Yeah, one of the other fellas says, it could be some sort of treasure, right? If it's what you see. Shrug. As you
where was this landslide?
Over east at the border of the Brandelwald, the forest, about half a mile out of town, I'd say. Bit more, a mile out of town.
So past the farms?
No, it's a bit closer, but further up north. He sort of points to the left.
Okay, well, that's definitely worth check out.
Yeah, probably. So I'm not quite sure what I've seen, but and in that moment the door flies open, and you can see a middle-aged man with grayish brown hair, very muddy, very dirty, comes stumbling in, and he looks panicked. His eyes are wide. He's completely pale. One of his hands is bleeding a little bit, as if he has scratched himself somewhere. And he just stands there in the doorway, looking around the room. Everyone's like, and the innkeeper goes, Lothar, what's happened? Lothar kind of takes a few steps inside and then kind of collapses into a chair, basically, and just starts shaking his head. So, I need help, please.
Yeah, I go over, pull out my bandages, and start looking over him.
Okay, roll me a healing check.
While he does that, I'll pour. I'll look for the closest bottle of alcohol and pour a glass and get into his hand.
Yeah, Oscar, the innkeeper's already getting a schnapps bottle ready.
All right.
As he passes by you, he gives you a nod and says, "That's Lothar Schneider. He's living in that farm you mentioned."
Maybe we should have checked it out before.
Yeah, he's squirming too much or something.
You're sort of bandaging his hand. It doesn't look like there's any deep wound. He looks like he fell and scratched himself or something. But yeah, you bandage it as best you can, and he's just like, "Please, the thing has Melissa and the children. What are you
Where?
talking about, Lothar? What thing? Some mutant. I don't know. It came in just as it was getting dark. Grabbed Melissa and the children. Please, you gotta help me.
Do you know where they took them?
Do I believe him? Can I roll an insight check?
Yeah, roll me an insight check for sure.
I got really correct. Listen. We should gather some people with forks, torches, and go there in strength of numbers. We can't go, alone.
Oscar says, of course. Well, pretty much all the people that can fight in the village are here. You heard the man, the halfling. Grab some torches, we need some light. We can't wait for the morning.
And don't forget about the forks.
Does anyone in the village own a sword?
No swords here, I don't think. I have an axe, though, and he sort of disappears in the back and comes back with this large woodcutter's axe. This should do, don't you think? I mean, my fighting days are a bit behind me, but...
It'll do.
Does anyone have any hunting bows?
Hans sort of raises that's the only one I have.
I'm stringing my short bow right now that I picked up from
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, people are sort of pouring out. By people I mean like there's 4 or 5 guys that were called in disappear outside, and you can see them grabbing torches and then lighting them in that small bonfire that's in the center of the village and getting ready. What was that inside check? Someone rolled an inside check?
I rolled like an 87.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he seems very nervous, exhausted, but that's all you can say. Please, where are they? The thing, it took them to the edge of the forest up north. Aye. Well, that's where we go then. You know how many there were? Only one. I didn't get a good look. It was some sort of mutant, though. Red eyes and claws and stuff. Do you think it... He just like starts drinking. Don't you worry, Lothar. We'll help you out. We'll get Melissa and the children back, and we'll kill that thing. It must be in league with those dogs. Dogs? What dogs? Don't worry about it. Tell you about it later. So, fellas, you ready to go? He looks at the 4 of you.
Did the innkeeper say he had an extra bow?
No, he
Okay.
doesn't.
All right.
The only one who seems to have a bow in the village is the Hans, the blonde fellow who has a bow on him.
Okay. All right. Let's go.
All right, you step outside and gather the other 3, 4, 5 fellas, including the innkeeper. So you're nine people in total, plus Lothar, who's sort of stumbling a bit and still carrying the schnapps bottle with him. And you can see a lot of the older fellas and women of the village kind of watching you go with fearful expressions. And Oscar, the innkeeper, turns and says, "Don't you worry, friends. We'll make sure everything's right. We have these men with us. They're combat experienced, and this one's road warden."
Sigmar is with us.
Yeah, the Heldenhammer will protect us.
I am not going to mention the fact that I'm like a lowly apprentice.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't.
Well, I haven't said I'm an apprentice physician either. I just
Right. Okay, so you set out into the night, surrounded by torchlight. About 3 or 4 of you are carrying torches. The rest has their weapons ready, and you are following Lothar, who's sort of stumbling in front of you, taking shots, jugs of the schnapps bottle that he's still carrying with him, and slowly leading you away from the village, sort of northeast. And as you walk that direction, Niels the miller turns to you, Gustav, and he says, "That's where I saw the light." Yeah, remember what I was telling you about?
Yeah.
It was that direction where the landslide was.
Well, seems like you were right then.
Well, I wish I wasn't.
Well, it's the best lead we have.
Not looking forward to it. He's sort of clutching a dagger with a slightly shaky hand.
Was he the one who had a bottle of schnapps?
No, that's Lothar. That's the guy who came in.
Okay.
He-
Are there any similar bottles around?
No, only that one, apparently.
Okay.
And Lothar seems to be holding on to that with a very...
Well, let's get ready. Do you have any draft horses?
No horses in the village. Too expensive.
Oxen, then.
We have a donkey or two.
Fair enough. We can probably make use of the host's oxen if need be.
Well, let's focus on killing the bastard first. That fucking mutant or whatever he is, eh?
By all means, let's go.
Right. Yeah, you're stumbling forward through darkness, mud. The rain has stopped already, like around the mid-afternoon or so, but it's still quite muddy. And you just hear your own footprints and like the flickering of the torches and the heavy breathing of the men around you. The further you get away from the village, the less talkative everyone becomes. Everyone sort of goes quiet and their eyes are darting around, scanning the edges of the firelight. Of course, you're all completely blind because you have the flames with you. Thing that might be hiding the darkness. But hey, there is some sense of security. You are, after all, about 10 people strong. And you're slowly making your way to what looks to be a hillside. And as you approach, the hillside slowly reveals itself, or is revealed by the flickering light of the torches. You can see that there was indeed a landslide there. And the landslide seemed to have revealed some sort of opening, a tunnel of some sort. Sort of half broken, but still very visible on the edge of the firelight. And Lothar just says, "It's in there. It ran in there. I saw it drag Melissa and the daughters in there." The men.
By the hill?
Yeah, in there. In that thing, that hole there, that tunnel. The other men look at each other. None of them looks too happy to enter whatever hole, tunnel thing that is. And Oscar, the innkeeper, turns to you guys and says, well, mainly to Siegfried, that is, and says, "What's the plan? Should we go in there?" Or
Of course. It's if that's wherever they've been taken, then that's where you need to go.
Right. I guess so. You want to go first? Everyone sort of looking at each other. And well, I'm an old man. I mean, I'll go in there if I was young. What the hell is wrong with you, everyone?
Try to make myself as small as possible.
Can I
Alex,
roll like leadership and try to sort of muster them up a bit and send them off ahead of me?
What do you say to people? Like, what would you like to say to get them to get in there?
Something pertaining to that, like it's their village, their family who are in danger, and it's
People, listen to me. Listen to me. This is your village. This is your land. Do not let those sneaky mutant bastards take it from you. You must go there and fight them back.
So the two of you kind of raise their voices, trying to organize a bit of I guess, a couple of the people to walk in front of you. So whichever one of you has higher leadership, roll me a check with +10.
I have 44.
Oh, you
Me
have.
too.
I have 43.
Okay, so it's Siegfried then who's rolling, and you get a +10 because the halfling is helping you out, assisting you.
Plus 10. I rolled 28.
Nice, that sounds good. So, and you had what was your maximum?
44, so 54.
54, 20, so that's 3 levels, not bad. You see that a couple of the people are looking around and they sort of nods, and the helmet, the blacksmith, grabs his hammer and says, all right, he's right. So if that mutant thing, if it can take Melissa and her daughters, who's to say it's not going to come from my family next, or yours, no, Niels. Let's get it done with.
Alex, sorry, quick thing was about healing. Would I be able to have looked at the wound again while in the tavern and tried to heal it up?
And you can only do 1 healing check per combat, so to speak, per person.
Sure. Oh, no problem. Okay. Was there anyone else that was hurt in the party?
No.
No, just you.
Okay. All right. Just the healer. Okay, no problem.
So Helmut, the smith, clutching his hammer, just like smithing hammer in one hand, torch in the other, slowly starts approaching the hole. And as he does so, you can just see the Lothar Schneider, the guy who led you here, just sitting there on the ground, shaking his head. And Lothar and Helmut takes another step closer, and all of a sudden you can see from the hole 2 red eyes glowing. And a voice speaks from the semi-darkness. And the voice says, well done, man-thing. Now your woman and breedlings will not be harmed. Everyone stops. What is this? And you can hear the voice going, and all of a sudden, all around you, from the mud and the rocks and the roots of this hillside, you see eyes starting to glow and figures pushing in to the torchlight. The figures of Nightmare. There's about a dozen or so of them, and these sinewy, brown-furred creatures with long, rat-like snouts, naked, sharpened teeth, but they are walking as men. You see their naked long tails whipping the air behind them. They're dressed in rags and bits and pieces of patches of piecemeal armor, but in their hands are blades, short swords, rusty but dangerous looking, and some of them are clutching knives. Others are clutching like primitive shields. And you can see these yellow eyes and the saliva running down the fangs as they are slowly approaching, kind of in a half-crouched position, this circle drawing closer. And all the men around you are frozen in fear for a moment as the night spits out this mass of things. And Gustav, you're up first. What do you wish to do?
I think he wishes he was somewhere else.
Gustav? Michael?
Oh, sorry. Is it my turn?
Oh, sorry, no, sorry. I meant Paul. Sorry, not Michael.
Okay. All right.
I mixed up the two. Paul, are you here? Oh, be right back. He's gone. Well, to be gone. I guess we'll just skip him.
No, he's gone. He's gone. I scream.
Yeah, he's just standing there like this. We'll move over to Mr. Thorncobble, the halfling then.
I look around and I see that villagers are frozen in fear, so I draw my hook into my hand, but I don't charge into combat. Oh, no. But also I want to encourage them, and I want to give them some Moral support, I scream, that's impossible, there's a streak! Lotsum Ratman does not exist! This must be our bandits! We must fight! We must fight! And I take cover behind some extraordinary large men.
Okay. Roll me a leadership check. I will give you a -10 because of the let's call it tense situation of these creatures coming out of darkness.
So what do you want me to roll?
A leadership check.
Leadership check.
Yes, a leadership skill check.
I guess it will be fellowship. I don't have a leadership skill.
Yes, it would be just basic fellowship, yes.
Yes, basic fellowship. 44. 8.
Wow, that is...
The dice are on fire. I failed only one check up to now.
4 levels of success. So your shouting shakes the villages around you and maybe your own comrades, and they are sort of raise their weapons and we have to fight, defend ourselves. People start shouting. Oh, and Gustav is back, so now you can take your turn, Gustav. The little halfling has just held a rousing speech to shake the fear off of the group.
Okay, I will shoot the bow at...
Where is shooting?
At the one that was talking first.
All right, you can see as you look towards the hole, there's a larger creature coming out. And this one, similarly looking to the other, these rat things, this one is more muscular and its fur is more sort of a dark brown, nearly black, whereas the others have all this sort of grayish, light brown fur. And it also seems better armed. It's wielding what looks to be some sort of heavy scimitar in one hand and a metal shield with a triangular symbol on the other. And you can see these ears and its long snout pierced by many iron rings, like piercing. And it just stands there, hisses as you draw notch and let loose.
Actually, with all that, I would like to see if I can identify the symbol or the creature or something.
Yep. Sure. Roll me a Nolan's Reichland, whatever it's called.
So a lore check?
Lore check, yeah.
25. So I beat it by 20.
You have heard the ramblings of madmen speak the word Skaven, a name attributed to ratmen that supposedly live under the streets of every major city of the empire, hiding the sewers, plotting the demise of the world above their tunnels. But all these people are considered madmen and crazed. There's no such thing as Skaven. Surely these things around you must be an illusion, a disguise worn by bandits of some sort, or maybe beastmen, bad enough.
And that's my action, or
very real though. No, I'd say that was that you can do that as a free action. Basically, it just hits you
Okay.
all of a sudden. All these stories that you might have picked up over the course of the years. By the way, guys, remember that you have fortune points and resilience points. You might need them in this fight.
what do fortune points do again?
With fortune points, you can either reroll a check, or you can add 1 success level to a check that you just rolled.
And fate points?
Fate points, yeah, forget about them. They're not important at the moment.
What fate points? And then I have resilience and resolve.
Yeah, resolve, forget about resolve. It's the same thing. Resilience basically allows you to become briefly immune to like fear and stuff, briefly ignore a wound that you have taken, or remove 1 condition from yourself, which like blinded or prone or whatever, grappled or whatever.
Okay, I will try to shoot the leader.
All right.
And I will say, Skaven. I would like to re-roll that. That was a 93.
Okay, well, he has a shield, so he can actually defend against your attack with his shield. Okay.
All right, so I can re-roll that?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Just remove 1 of your fortune points.
Oh my goodness, 79.
Okay. Shoot an arrow with trembling fingers as all these scary stories are coming into your head, and the arrow flies and disappears into the
40.
mud beyond the creature's head.
If that matters, that was 4 over 40.
It doesn't matter. You missed.
Okay.
It looks up at the arrow that's stuck in the mud above it, looks down to you, and you can see its eyes focusing on yours, these red pools of hatred, and it just lets this, and you can see its tongue sort of licking its lower incisors as it does so. We have the peasants' turn. They just like start shouting, and one of them, Hans, lets loose an arrow. The others are like going, getting ready to be attacked by these creatures. Helmut, the smith, even runs at them just by himself, swinging his hammer wide, shaken by his reverie, from his reverie by Wilhard's words. And you can see that Helmut actually smashes one of these creatures into the shoulder. It lets out a hiss of pain, and the other creatures start moving in slowly but surely. Heinrich, your turn.
Okay. Heinrich's gonna barrel straight towards the leader. Does he look stronger than me?
I mean, he looks fairly muscular, not like super massive, but yeah, fairly muscular. You can see under this sort of dark brown fur, the sinewy muscles of this creature moving.
Okay, how tall is the creature?
It's about a little shorter than you. They're not particularly tall because they have this sort of hunched over way of standing.
All right. I guess he wants to grab him and slam him to the ground and grapple him.
Right. You're leaping it and going for a grapple. That would be a opposed strength check. Because you are running, you gain 1 level. So you're attacking it, you're charging it. You gain 1 advantage. So keep that track of that. So you have plus 10 to your strength because of that advantage.
Okay. I rolled a 36.
How many levels of success is that?
I don't know where my strength. I don't know where my strength is.
The S in your main characteristics is strength.
Okay. 35.
And you roll
what?
what?
Oh, and plus the 10 would put me at 45.
And
okay.
You rolled what?
I rolled a 36.
Okay, so that is 1 level of success because
yes.
40 minus 30 basically is 1 level. So 4 minus 3. Okay. Yeah, you leap at the creature, you tackle it, and it surprised for a moment. It was looking at the arrow and then over at Gustav as you run out and tackle it, and you actually manage to bring it to the ground into the mud. You roll one on top of the other, just like you can smell its stench and feel its muddy, wet fur on your skin as you're trying to hold it down. That was your turn.
Okay.
And you gain another advantage. You have 2 now because you have successfully attacked.
All right.
Okay, that was Heinrich's turn. We have Siegfried.
All right. Well, I want to shoot at the biggest one, the one that seems to be a leader.
That one's on the ground with Heinrich pinning it at the moment. So you could take a shot, but in shooting into melee, there is a chance, a 20% chance, in fact, that you could hit Heinrich.
I'm gonna risk it.
All right, I like it. Take the shot.
Because this is scary shit.
Now, what's your crossbow thing?
I rolled 25.
25?
Yes, let me see what I have. Where'd my sheet go? There it is. 42.
Okay, so because you're shooting into melee, you get a minus 20, which lowers it to a 22. And if you miss by that 20 that you have lost, that means you hit your ally, or basically you die in combat. Do you wish to use a fortune point to reroll this? Or do you want to keep it, your fortune point?
I think I'm gonna keep it because I don't think that it's a very high chance of me rolling lower than 25.
Okay, well, in that case, you rolled basically 0 successes. So what's the damage on your crossbow?
Actually, I'll use it. I might as well give it a try. I do have 4 fortune after all, so.
Okay. So remove 1.
Yes.
And reroll.
Come on. Does it hurt more if I roll high?
No, you completely miss if you roll high.
Yeah, I rolled 94.
Yeah. So your arrow your crossbow bolt would have struck Heinrich straight in the back, but you slip at the very last moment, and the crossbow bolt flies past Heinrich and just disappears in the darkness. Okay, that was your turn. Yeah. Cool. That was your turn. So we are up at the top of the initiative, which means the Skaven leader. And he will now. I have to check the grapple rules once more. Let's see. Post strength check. Okay. No, he will not actually. He will not try to break the grapple. He will just basically push you away just far enough that he can swing his scimitar, and he will hiss in your face and say, "You're a man thing. Blue attack spirit kill," and swing a cut with his scimitar, trying to slash open Heinrich. Now, Heinrich, you have, I believe, 2 points of advantage. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Do I get a point from him being grappled?
No, but
Okay.
you get a plus 20 for your parrying check because of the 2 points of advantage. So
Okay.
now you can roll either your dodge skill or your simple melee skill, whichever one is higher, basically, to evade his blow.
Okay. I do my roll plus my basic melee.
Yeah, your basic melee plus 20.
Plus 20. Oh, okay. That'd be 66.
Not what? See, wow, you have 46. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Actually, a good fighter.
That's why I jumped the guy.
Okay. So roll it.
I rolled a 44.
And you have a 66, right?
Yes.
So that's 2 levels. Yeah, you just barely managed to evade his blade or block it with your own short sword that you have in your other hand. Because you succeeded in your defense, you get a +1 advantage. You have 3 now. You're stacking it up pretty well.
Okay.
However, the other Skaven are now it is their turn, and one of them will charge in to help their leader. The others are closing in from all sides. 2 of them are leaping at Helmut, the smith. And the other ones are closing in, attacking the farmers all around you. The halfling is ignored for now. However, Siegfried, one of the rat creatures leaps at you, short sword out, going in for a stab. So roll me either a dodge check or a parry check, Siegfried.
All right. Let's see.
And the creature's 1 advantage.
Parry is an advanced skill, right?
No, it is. It's not called parry. It's called simple melee, but you're using it to parry. Sorry, actually, no, you cannot parry because you do not have a weapon out at the moment.
No, I only got my crossbow.
Yeah, so you have to use your dodge check.
Will do.
Your dodge skill.
I have 32 in that, and I roll 52.
Yeah. So 52. The creature has. What was your dodge? Did you say?
32, and I rolled 52.
So that's 2. Yeah, the creature just hits you. Try to twist out of the way, but it's a little too fast, and it will hit you in 15. And 15 is, let's see, 15 is the left arm. So the arm that you're like holding your crossbow with. It slices you into the arm and will deal 7 damage to you on that arm.
All right. And the armor points negates 1 or something like that?
Yeah, if you have an armor point there, it negates 1 damage. And you also you reduce the damage by your toughness bonus, which is the first digit of your toughness. So that's the T on your main character sheet.
3.
Yeah. So you take 4 less from 1 point armor, 3 points toughness. It's -4. So you take 3 points of damage. I don't know how many wounds you have, probably like 11 or 12, but now you have 3 less of those.
There. All right. Sorry. Yep.
Okay, and the creature gains another point of advantage because it has struck you successfully. The other Skaven that is running to help its leader stabs at Heinrich. So Heinrich, roll me a parry check again, please. And you have, I believe, 2 points of advantage. Is that correct?
Yes.
So you have +20 on that roll.
I rolled a 99.
Oh, that's not good. That is, in fact, a critical fail. And, the creature will strike you. You might want to re-roll that.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to do that.
Take a lot of damage for that roll.
So that's fortune?
Yeah, 1 fortune gone.
Okay. I rolled a 17.
That's
plus,
much better. What's your total? What's your levels of success? So what's your stat you're using?
Basic melee. That's 46.
So you rolled a 17. It's 3 levels of success. The creature actually. No, sorry, you have advantage as well. So no, it does not hit you. And you gain another point of advantage, up to 3 now.
That would be up to 4. Oh wait, 4? on the guy I'm grappling?
Sorry, no, on everyone.
On everyone. Oh, okay, it's on everyone. Okay, all right.
Yeah, it just keeps stacking up. Basically, I think how it works. Because if you had to compare with every single combatant, that would be super complicated. I hope it's not that way. Anyway, intended to be. Okay, so you're actually fighting against 2 of these creatures, but you're in such an advantageous position that you manage to fight both of them off, parrying their attacks, keeping one of them still grappled in your hand. Well, that was the creature's turn. The other ones are just striking at the farmers around you. Gustav, your turn. You are, for now, ignored. What do you wish to do?
Who is it?
You.
Oh. Okay. I will shoot again. Or miss. How many of the smaller ones are there?
There's about 10 of them. But none of them is attacking you at the moment. However, one of them is attacking Siegfried, the rogue warden, who's not standing too far away from you.
What kind of penalties will I have for shooting?
So he is basically at point-blank range, which gives you a plus, I believe, 30 on the attack roll for range attacks, because he's so close. He's also in melee, however, with an ally of yours, which gives you a -20. So you would be at a total of +10. Do you have any points of advantage? No, right?
No.
Okay, so just
so 34 plus 10 will be 44 is my target number. 67.
You just barely missed Siegfried.
Oh, good. All right, I won't re-roll that.
The arrow flies over Siegfried's shoulder, nearly hitting him. And it's just pandemonium all around. Wilhard, Mr. Huffling, it is your turn now.
Is there a possibility that the big one, the big Skaven, is turned with his back towards me?
He's not with his back towards you. No, you're all standing in the same spot, so he's still facing you. Although he is grappled.
Okay, but he's grappled, so I will try to move so he can catch me with his arm, and will try to stab him with my hook.
All right, go for it. So you run up. That will give you 1 point of advantage immediately.
Okay. So I will try my melee.
And I believe because he is grappled, you get a +20 or something like that.
So I have 56.
So it's plus 30 in total.
My target number, I must roll under 66. And I rolled, oh dear, 92.
92.
92.
Yeah, he gains 1 point of advantage as he twists out of the way of your hook.
Squeak!
Okay, we have the peasants, which are doing their best to fight for their lives, and they're actually not doing too bad. With the leader out of the picture for now, they are trying to sell their lives as hard as possible and just smashing into these red creatures, shouting, "Sigmar, protect us!" and like, "Together, help me!" And you just hear shouts of pain and war around you. Heinrich, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm going to hit him with my sharp, pointy thing.
So you're just stabbing at the leader, trying to
Yes.
stab him to death.
My target is actually, I believe, going to be 86 or 76.
So yeah, you have a lot of advantage. So however many advantage points you have, each of them gives you a plus 10.
Yeah, I rolled 41, so I believe that's 3 points of advantage.
So no, that's three levels of success.
3 levels of success. Okay, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you do hit him, which gives you another point of advantage and loses him the point of advantage because every time you're damaged, you lose all your advantage, basically.
Okay.
So what did you roll to hit?
I rolled a 41 to
41.
hit.
So 14 to hit is also left arm. Well, you guys keep striking at the left arm. So where his shield is, you basically glide over his shield and cut into the shoulder above the shield. Roll.
That's 7 damage.
You have, how many levels did you have? Sorry, did you say? Was it 4?
Right now I have 5.
No, not advantage. How many levels
Okay.
of success on the roll?
Levels of what on the roll?
Levels of success. So how many?
Oh, it was 3. 3 levels of success.
3 levels of success. He had 1, so it leaves 2 levels of success for you, which means your short sword does plus 7, is it?
Yes.
Okay, plus 7, so plus another 2 because of the levels of success you had. It's 9 damage. He has an armor of 3, which means he takes 6 damage. Yeah, he does not like that at all. He screams in pain as he slices into his shoulder. It's a decent cut. Quite a lot of blood is coming out. It looks disturbingly human, the blood in the firelight.
That's fine. There I am.
And that's your turn. Siegfried. One of these rat things hissing in your face, trying to slice you open.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop my crossbow, and can I draw and attack at the same turn?
You can, yes.
So I draw my dagger, and I'm gonna try and stab it.
Okay. That creature has 2 levels of advantage, though.
26.
How many levels of success is that?
That is, I have 43 in melee basic, so that's 2.
What did you roll? 20 something?
26.
Yeah, so that's 2 levels, and he fails. So you take away his advantage, and also you deal, I think, 9 damage. Oh no, sorry. What's the dagger do? What does the dagger do?
5.
5 damage.
Well, it's my strength bonus plus 2.
Yeah, so that's 5 plus the 2.
So it's 3 plus 2.
Yeah, plus the 2 levels that you had, success levels that you had. That's 7.
All right.
And he has 2 armor, so he takes 5 points. Yeah, he's you slash. I don't know where you hit it, but it doesn't really matter in this. Let's say body. You slash into its side with your dagger. You stab it in the side, twist it. It lets out this high-pitched scream of pain. You can see its naked tail swishing around in pain as it stumbles a bit backwards. You have the advantage. You gain 1 point of advantage.
Nice.
From that strike. We have the leader, Skirit. He will once again try to strike Heinrich, who has now gained a significant level of advantage over him, holding him back and pushing him to the ground, stabbing into his shoulder. So Heinrich, roll me a defense check, please, whichever you prefer. Dodge blow or melee, simple melee. Michael, that's you. Michael? Hello?
Is there a Michael here?
Yeah, there is a Michael here. He's playing Heinrich.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, listening.
Okay, no, apparently not. Well, in that case, we'll be moving over to the other Skaven. One of them, the one that has your dagger basically on his side, Siegfried, will lash out at you with its short sword, trying to stab you in the chest. Just hissing and screaming in pain at the same time. I believe you have 1 point of advantage against it. Is that correct?
Yes.
So you gain plus 10 to the roll.
All right, so I rolled 37 against melee basics because I can parry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 37 against 57, or 53. So
that's 2 levels of success. That is enough to evade its blade, parry it away with your dagger, just twist it aside, and you gain 1 more level of advantage for this parry.
Awesome.
And the other Skaven will turn and strike at Wilhard Thorncobble, the halfling who ran up to attack his boss. Leap up and spring down its short sword, wielding it like a dagger downwards, basically. Do you have any levels of success of advantage?
I have a dodge.
Do you have any advantage points?
No, not at all.
Okay. Then it's just a straight up dodge roll. Ooh.
I have rolled. My dodge was 44. I rolled 41. So success, but
yeah, he will hit you. I'm afraid with just 1 level, but still, he gains 1 point of advantage, and he deals. So that's 22, which is again the left arm. Holy crap! We just keep hitting that left arm. Oh, it's actually it's a critical hit. Actually, he rolled a doubles. 22.
Oh no! Ouch! 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 That is gonna hurt me.
So you take 8.
Do you want to reroll your dodge? Is that possible?
Yeah, he can reroll his dodge if you want to.
Can I spend my fortune point to gain 1 level of success and thus avoid?
You can, yes. Actually, that is a very good way to do that. Yeah, because that means you bring 1 level of success up. So I don't know what happens if it's a draw. Actually, let me see.
Okay, but I would love to do this.
Let me see what happens with the draw. Yeah, I get that. So you'll definitely be able to do that. Let's see. Okay, if it's a tie, the attack misses, but no one gains any advantage. Okay, so you do not gain an advantage from a successful defense, but you manage to evade a critical hit, which, such a pity. Oh well.
Critical hits are fine unless you receive them.
Yeah.
Okay, so I spent 1 of my 3 fortune points
you spend
to
1
avoid to gain 1 advantage on the roll, and thus to gain 1 level of success, and thus
exactly
avoid.
So the blade of the Skaven narrowly misses your left arm, sliding off the side of your leather jacket or whatever you're wearing, and.
I look at him with shock and I say, "You could stab me."
So Michael, are you back yet? Michael?
Yes, I'm back.
Oh, you are back. Okay.
Yeah.
So the Skaven leader is attacking you. Please roll a parry check or a dodge check, whatever you prefer.
Yeah, it's some technical difficulties. I rolled a 51.
51, and you have what was your target number?
Let me see.
How many how many points of advantage do you have when I was like 5 or something?
Yeah.
I think that's the maximum that you can have.
Okay, yeah, it's at like 96 now.
So that's 4 levels, which actually is not enough. He does hit you.
Wow, really? Okay.
Yeah, I rolled 5 levels of success.
Can I use one of my points to equal him?
You can actually, yeah. Good
I
choice.
would like to do that because I'm at a pretty good position
You
right now.
You lose your advantage exactly if you get hit. So you do not gain another advantage, but he does not strike you either.
Okay.
Last
Great.
moment, he slips in the mud and the blade goes wide. Okay, Gustav, your turn.
All right. I'm going to try for the leader again. He's still point blank.
No, the leader is not point blank. The one fighting Heinrich, the one fighting Siegfried is point blank to you. The leader is further away.
Is the leader in melee range?
He is
with target, I mean.
Yeah, he's fighting with 2 of your comrades, in fact.
Okay, I will shoot the one on Heinrich.
Okay.
So
on Siegfried.
On Siegfried, so it's point at 10 total.
That's plus 10 total, yes.
Oh, I think I hit.
Yeah, that's
I
great.
don't believe it. Okay, so
how many levels of success do you have?
All right, so 34 becomes 44, and I rolled 29.
So that's 2 levels of success. He can try to evade this with his shield, but he does not do so. So you have 2 levels. What's your damage on your bow?
+8.
+8. So that's 10 damage. And wow, yeah, that takes away the last wounds of the creature. What did you roll on your strike on your to hit roll?
I rolled 29 out of
92, which means you hit it in the right leg. And we have our first critical hit of the game because you have dropped it below 0. And the critical hits are on page 174. So it is it's a leg hit. Roll 1d100, please.
80.
80. The weapon drives clean through the opponent's leg by the knee, slicing into bone and through tendons. Oh shit! Okay, so you see basically this creature's leg breaking as your arrow slices straight through it, in through the knee, and comes out the other side, and it gives this and falls to the ground, bleeding heavily and stunned in pain, just like trashing in pain. Okay.
I am a doctor. I know where to point the arrow. I just
Siegfried, this is your turn. Siegfried?
Sorry, my microphone was muted. The one on me is dead, yeah?
It's on the ground. It's not dead yet, but it's looking very badly hurt and basically close to being unconscious.
Okay, well I'm gonna give it a good old coup de grace then.
Yep. You don't even need to roll. That happens automatically. You just target any like visible area like the throat or head or whatever. Just describe however you like it, really.
Yeah, I'm just gonna plunge the dagger into its throat.
You see it's these red eyes just like moving left, right, and the tongue sort of lolling out to the side, and it sinks down. The tail is twitching for a bit while you rip out the dagger. Okay, the Skaven leader looks like the tides are slowly turning. He will try to finally break the grapple. Wait,
did I miss my turn? Because I thought he attacked me, and I don't think I've attacked him since he attacked me.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I did skip you. Yeah, you're right. You have 1 turn. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to try to hit him again with my sharpie pointy thing.
Okay, go for it.
It's going to be a 96 to hit.
That misses automatically. 95 and above, 96 and above is always a miss. So yeah, you miss him wide.
Oh no! That's my target.
Oh, that's your target. Oh,
because
okay.
I have 5 points on him.
Right.
And I got a 21.
Oh shit! That's wait.
Oh, I'm sorry, 20.
That's
7.
Seven levels of success. Oh shit. Okay, let's see. Well, he has 2 levels. So that's 5 levels that you have more. So how much damage does your sword do?
7.
Plus 5 is 12. Yep, he has 3. Yep, he's down. Where did you hit him? What was your to hit? Did you say? Was it 20? You said?
Yes, 20.
Oh, so that's a hit at the head actually, because a 20 turns into a 2, and a 2 is a hit on the head, a headshot.
Great.
So you slide past him as he's trying to rip backwards. You can see his eyes are sort of gazing out onto the battlefield behind you. He realizes that the tide is actually turning against his folk. And he's just about to scream something as you basically stab him in the face. And that will be a critical hit on the head. So roll me another D100, please. Tell me what you rolled.
I got a 20 again.
A 20, that is a minor cut. He is bleeding heavily. His cheek is, you slice his cheek open, blood pours over his face, but it's a minor cut.
Okay.
But he is very heavily injured, barely standing, basically. Actually, no, he's not standing. He falls to the ground, because every time you drop down to 0 hit points, you basically fall to the ground.
Oh, well, I'm still grappled with him too.
And you're still holding him, yeah. So he's now like lying underneath you, his whole half the side of the face bloodied. But it is his turn.
Okay.
And he will, from the ground, because he cannot stand up anymore, because he's at 0 hit health, he will slash at you one last time to try to maybe somehow find a way out of the situation. You can see the fear in his inhuman eyes. Yeah, he does a pretty decent hit with 3 levels.
I'm going to roll my weapon skill
Mm-hmm.
to dodge. And I rolled a 62, but I think I'm still at the 96 target.
That would be 3 levels as well.
Yeah,
So
3 levels.
Once again, evade his blow, parrying with your own short sword. Just the scimitar with not as much strength as he had just before, strikes into it and slides down. The rat warrior, however, who is fighting Wilhard, continues to stab at him, although you can see that he's also looking panicked at his fallen leader. He will, however, try and stab at you, Mr. Halfling. And that's a pretty good stab. Do you wish to dodge or parry? Marcin?
Can you remind me how parry works? It's a weapon skill test.
Use simple melee for it.
Simple melee.
Yes. So either simple melee or dodge.
Melee basic.
Melee basic. Melee
Oh,
basic.
melee basic, so not simple. Yeah, melee basic. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay, I will try parry. My target number is 46.
You have advantage points, right?
No, I don't have any.
Okay. Right.
And I rolled 68, so I rolled 2 levels over.
Yeah, so he strikes you. He strikes you with so he strikes you into 31. That is
31?
Yeah, what's the 31? What
Right arm. 31 is a right arm.
So he's going for your hook, your weapon arm, slashing into it. And that will be 2, 3, that will be 10 points of damage into the arm.
I have no armor. My toughness bonus is 5, so I receive 5 points of damage.
You have 5 toughness. Holy crap, that is one tough halfling.
Excuse me. 4. 4.
Okay, well, 4 is still pretty good. 6
Um,
points.
6 points of damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at half of my points of damage.
That was a pretty good blow.
Yes, half of my wounds.
However, Gustav, it is your turn.
Okay, so do I see what happened to the halfling?
Yeah, you see him being his right arm being slashed open by a Skaven blade, and a Skaven sort of licks the blood of the sword. And but that Skaven would be a good target for you. I mean, you could move a little closer to get into point blank range and then shoot at him.
Sure, I will do that. So
minus 20 plus 20, so just 0.
Oh, I don't get. I thought it was. I got plus.
Oh, no, sorry, plus 10. You're right. Point blank is, I think, it's plus 30.
Okay, so that is 44 target, and do I get a? Oh, I get. Do I still have advantage? Does that count?
Yeah, if you have advantage, it still counts.
Oh, I hit the one time. So
1 point advantage, so another plus 10.
So 54
Mm-hmm.
is my target. 87.
Miss.
But I don't hit him.
No, you hit no one.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Wilhard, your time to strike back. You've also lost your advantage. Oh, you didn't have any.
Well, I don't have any options other than fight back. Am I?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Gustav, you lose 1 point of advantage. If you do not hit anyone your turn, or you're not attacked in your turn, you just lose your 1 point of advantage in the end of your turn, basically.
Okay.
No, I have missed terribly. My weapon skill, my basic melee basic is 46, and I rolled 86. So.
Okay, so not only have you missed, but you also received a critical hit in turn.
Well, you want to re-roll it?
Why?
Because when he rolls on a defense check, when he rolls doubles, he nonetheless scores a critical hit.
No. I rolled 86, not 88.
No, he rolled against.
Okay. So I think I will use my. Well, I would like to use resilience. I will not fail. Roll that result test. You choose a number instead, allowing you to succeed even in dire situations. In an opposed test, you always win.
We're not using resilience because this is a one-shot. Usually you have like fate points and resilience points, which are super strong. But because this is a one-shot, I'm not giving you that because that would make you just like
I have missed and my turn is over.
No, you take a critical hit as well from the Skaven. So you slash at it, but it dodges and stabs you at the same time, which I believe you don't get any damage. You just let me check that one more time. I think you just take a direct critical hit. Now, where did I see that? Let's see. Where is it? Yeah, sorry about this, guys, but the rules are pretty easy.
Yeah, no worries.
But there's still a lot of stuff. Let's see. Where is it? Come on. Can't find it. That's annoying. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah. So if you score, yeah, exactly. So it even happens when you are the defender in an opposed test. So it would be he rolled an 11, so that's an 11, so that you can take a critical hit in the head.
Ouch!
And the critical hits are on page 174. I really need to print them out if I'm going to run more of this.
I see it.
And it'll be a 55, a fractured jaw.
Ouch!
So you take 2 stunned conditions, which basically means you're out of the fight for 2 rounds. You just, as you leap with your hook, the Skaven ducks to the side and smashes the heft of his sword straight into your face, and you can hear the jaw breaking with this awful crack sound. And the pain is so hard that you're barely standing.
Ow! I tried to scream, but I cannot because my jaw is broken in half.
The scream sounds like "Arrgh!" basically.
Help me! Help me! Save me!
Heinrich, it is your turn. That is what you hear behind you, basically, that scream of pain from the halfling. Right behind you.
Yeah, he's gotta work out his own problems. I got things to deal with.
Yeah, you still have a heavily injured but quite still sort of alive Skaven leader underneath.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to kill the Skaven leader to. All right, it's gonna be. I rolled a 6.
Holy crap. Okay. Just roll. Actually, yeah, just roll me a critical hit on whatever location.
Is that's also 2D? That's also a D100.
Yeah. What location did you hit with that? What did you say? Did you roll?
I rolled a 6.
6. So that's 60. That would be body, right?
I mean, I don't know.
How much? How much have you rolled?
60.
So it is 0.6.
No.
It is 6.
You rolled 0.6, so it's 60 turns. So flipped.
If it was 6, it is a hit in the head. If it was 60, it is a hit in the body.
Yeah. So a hit in the body. All right. Roll me a critical hit then. So it's another D100, please.
38.
88. Bruised ribs. However, let me see. So he has 1, 2, and he has a minor cut 3. So he's still alive. Still alive. You stab him in the side. You break some of his ribs, but he's somehow just barely still holding on. You're just rolling too low on those critical hits, basically, to finish him off. Okay, Siegfried, your turn.
All right. So, which Skaven are dead so far?
Well, there's a couple of them that are sort of fleeing at the moment. The only one that looks really dangerous is the one who is about to carve open your halfling companion.
Right.
And has just broken his jaw, basically.
All right. Do you know what the reload one action, how long that takes?
That is a good question. I will have to check that because the crossbow has probably special rules for that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's a quality.
Let's see. What does the crossbow say? Does it have any special attribute to it?
Reload X. The weapon is slow to reload. To unload the weapon with the flow requires extended range test. To appropriate weapon.
Where is that?
It is page 299.
299, thank you. Reload this extended range test. Okay. So you need to roll it's like an attack roll with the crossbow, and you need to have 1 success to reload it. Like 1 level of success.
All right.
If you manage to do that, you can attack immediately.
And okay, so it doesn't take up my full turn,
I
sort of
don't think so, no.
I'll just run in and try to stab it instead.
Okay, fair enough. So you just run up with your dagger or whatever you have drawn and try to stab that Skaven. It actually has 2 advantages.
All right.
This one.
Did I get an advantage for killing the one of them?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. So I'll use that.
And you also run in, which means you gain another advantage from that.
All right, cool.
Charge someone, you get.
So I rolled 39 to 63.
That is 3 levels, and that is enough to strike it. It had, oh, actually, yeah, it had 2 levels, so you have 1 level left.
Yeah.
So you roll 39, 93, you strike it in the leg, and you deal.
Let's see. So since I have 1 level, that means it's 3 + 2 + 1.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So 6 then.
So 4 damage. Okay. You slash it in the leg. It's not a deep wound, but it definitely hurts.
Excellent.
And it is now the leader's turn, who is trying to break the grapple to get away, basically, just fleeing the scene if he can, or like basically crawling away. But first he needs to break the grapple, which is very unlikely because Heinrich has a shit ton of advantage, like 50 plus 50. So roll me a strength check, Heinrich, with plus 50.
Okay, what is my strength? Is
that's the S.
S?
Yeah.
My target would be 85.
Okay. I have actually 3 levels of success with this creature.
And I got a 42.
So you have more. Yeah, he cannot break. He's sort of twisting, trying to grab your hand and pull it off, but his fingers are weak and slick with blood. It just slides off and you're still holding him in place. The one still fighting rat turns to you, Siegfried, as you have stabbed in your leg and slashes at you.
No.
And it has lost all the advantage because you have hurt it, but you have 3 advantage. It misses.
Oh, okay.
Gustav, your turn.
Okay, I'm going to shoot point blank again, so it's a plus 10.
Yep.
So it's a 44 target. 33.
That is a critical hit. 33, that is a left arm critical hit. And let's see how much damage you deal. 33 is 1 level of success, right, for you?
Yes.
So it actually blocks the strike. So you don't deal any damage as such, but you do score a critical hit against it in the left arm because you rolled doubles. And that was page. Okay, roll me a d100, please.
32.
Okay, so the left arm of the creature is useless. It tear through its muscle, and it drops the shield, basically. It's just like, ah! The shield is, and the hand hangs limp now. It no longer has any armor or shield. Mr. Halfling, Wilhard. The creature is broke. Oh, you're stunned. Sorry, you cannot do anything. Heinrich, your turn.
I'm gonna hit him in and around the face again.
Still stabbing down onto the Skaven leader.
Rolled a 52.
That I don't think he can even defend against. No, not good enough. Okay, so roll me 1 more critical hit. 52, you said.
Yes.
So that's 25. That's left arm. 1 more critical hit. I think that will kill him no matter what you roll. But just roll for it for the hell of it.
85.
85. Yeah, you cut open you cut several fingers open. You cut him off basically, and with that, the amount of wounds this thing has taken has been too much, and he just drops unconscious and bleeds out on the ground basically. Finally, releasing your fingers, his claws so slipping down and in the mud.
All right. If Heinrich can, he'll stand up and kind of survey the battlefield.
It's looking pretty good. You can see with the death of their leader, most of the Skaven, who do not seem quite as dangerous all of a sudden, start looking around and start fleeing the battlefield. The only one that's still kind of intent and fighting on is that one that just had his arm slashed open by an arrow. That one is still brave enough to continue fighting. stupid enough, depending on who you ask. Siegfried, your turn.
I'm gonna keep going at the big one.
And that's the only one that's still standing. The big one just died, but yeah, you're attacking one of the other ones.
All right, yeah. Okay.
Go for it.
Are they still fighting, or are they like on the verge of running?
Most of the Skaven are on the verge of running. Just that one that you're fighting is still intended to continue.
All right. Well, stab it. No, I won't. Well, I've got 4 advantages, right?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Yes. All right. So let's see. Yes, I succeeded with 1.
What level? That is enough to hit it. It did not succeed in its parry. It doesn't have a shield anymore. It's trying to bring up the short sword, but it's too slow.
All right, so I do 5 damage. No, 6 damage.
6 damage. It does not have any armor left, so that is enough to take it out.
All right.
Yeah, after it sort of tries to parry the blow with its short sword, you twist your blade past it and stab it in the throat. It falls. With that, the 4 or 5 remaining Skaven break and flee into the darkness, skittering and screeching and screaming. The farmers start collapsing around you. A couple of them still standing. You can see Oscar, the innkeeper, just like taking deep breaths. Helmut, the smith, swings his hammer and shouts, "Sigmar! Sigmar!" the name of the god of the empire, into the darkness as the creatures of night flee, beaten.
Now, are these creatures touched by chaos?
What are they?
Are the Skaven touched by chaos?
I mean, looking at them, you'd say probably, yeah.
Okay, so I won't mount his head as a trophy then.
Probably not.
Okay, I start examining to heal the ones that need it the most first.
Right.
I'm gonna grab my crossbow, reload it, and then head into the cave.
As you're heading into the
I
cave,
want help me.
yeah, with a broken wall.
Anybody have a problem? I don't hear anybody.
Help me.
No, I go help the halfling.
Okay, roll a heal check. In the meantime, Siegfried, with your reloaded crossbow, you step into the cave. And you can see Lothar Schneider, so stumbling next to you, and he says, "I'm sorry, I had to do it. They said they were gonna kill my family. That thing." He points at the dead Skaven leader.
I'm gonna try to push him inside and head deeper.
As you step into the tunnel, you walk a few steps into muddy, wet darkness, and then come upon a bundle of tied up people. In total, 5 of them. You can just barely make them out in the weak light that is in this tunnel. There's a little bit of torchlight flickering in, but the innkeeper Oscar eventually emerges with a torch and sort of thrusts it into the tunnel. And you can see 2 young girls in their sort of early teens, maybe, a middle-aged woman, a younger woman, and a middle-aged man, all tied up, all seemingly beaten, bloodied, and faces swollen and gagged, and all just like lying, shivering in the mud.
I must have missed the course on broken jawbones because I got 90 something, used a reroll the fortune point, and got 70.
Well, you kind of tie a bandage around the whole face, and you're like, yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing, you coward? What are you doing?
It didn't hurt.
I don't want to surrender. People are dying then.
Sorry, I don't understand what you're saying. I don't speak halfling.
Lothar stumbles in the tunnel with you and takes the starts tearing open the bandage, the ropes tying that one of the women and the 2 young girls, and sort of starts hugging them and says, "It's fine. The monsters are dead. It's all right. Nothing will happen to you now." And they all just like crying and hugging each other.
I'll run in, circling. Clara, are you there?
You do see her. She's the younger woman. There's an older bearded man, a beard filled with mud and dried blood, and her just lying against the wall, kind of shivering and blinking now in the torchlight. They have been in this tunnel for a while.
I'll tend to any wounds that she has or any of the other captives.
Yeah, they've all been quite badly beaten by the looks of it, but none of them seems to have any serious injuries. And with that, you guys retrieve the captives and bring them back to Brendelwald village. However, keeping a careful eye on the surroundings, for you know that at least about 4 or 5 of the rat creatures have escaped in the darkness, disappeared amongst the mud. So, nonetheless, even though no one will believe you the tale of rat people, probably, and when you come back the next morning to check what happened in the light of the day, you will find no bodies. You have successfully saved Clara and her husband and a bunch more people from a rather nasty fate. So congratulations. And all of you have survived, which I'm surprised by, but it seems like that isn't actually quite as deadly as I thought, especially if you start stacking up advantages early.
Those advantages, it's really great like a momentum system.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's pretty complicated, actually. I don't know if I'm too happy with that idea, but it didn't seem as bad as I thought. I'll still need to play a few more games to try to figure it out. And I'm sure I forgot probably a ton of rules in the middle of it.
It's definitely more complicated than the first edition.
It is, for sure. It's way
slightly more than second, because in the second edition there was quite a number of options. You can move the.
But I like that. I like the whole thing. You could disarm and strike to stun and then like do all out attacks and full defense stuff like that. I like those options.
Is that not an option in this?
No, there is a defense option, which I forgot to mention, actually. You can do, like, spend your action to prepare, and it gives you plus 20 on defense for the next turn, which I forgot to mention, but there's no other options than that from what I've seen. There's basically just grapple, attack, and do defense thing. That's very much from what I've seen, unless I missed something, but I don't think so. The combat chapter isn't actually that long. But maybe there will be some optional stuff in the future. Who knows? For now, I'll say thank you for playing, guys, and to our viewers, thank you for watching. I'm pretty sure I'll be running more Warhammer in the near future. We will see. And until then, Trumas Game says bye-bye and good night.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. It was great.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.